events, and the one holiday that I celebrate every year is Yom Kippur. There you go.
So there's a whole bunch of things that just happened there. So this is like a radio show to expose Goyim and let them be Goyim, and you enjoy the Goyim. And I don't know. But
well, for those of you that, if I may, for those of you that don't know, Goyim is a Yiddish term considered by many to be derogatory, and it refers to people that are not Jewish. Please continue.
But I came to the same understanding recently after I left this Jesus Christ cult that Yahuwah is the one, and I find it very interesting, this whole process that you're doing and exposing these individuals and letting them have a chance to speak. I find it very interesting and very, you're pulling yourself out of yourself and just, it's a thought experiment.
Well, it's quite interesting, the take you have on the show. I've never quite heard that before, but it has some validity to it. In the process of encouraging anybody and everybody on Clubhouse to come up and speak and talk about whatever they want in a respectful manner. I guess you could glean from that I'm exposing people, but really that's really a minor part of the show. The major part of the show is, as I've said many times before, to offer up a platform where people can come up and talk about anything that they want, and then hopefully, in a critical thinking manner, we can respectfully talk both sides of the issue. This show has never been an echo chamber. I don't care if you agree with me, if you don't, if you like me, if you don't. As I say, just have a take and don't suck. And what that means is be somewhat, what's the word I want? Just be respectful, be able to put your words together, and have a reasonable dialogue. That's what the show is all about. And if in the process I expose people being full of shit, well, good for me. But hopefully they're not. And
you're doing a good job, Uncle Steve.
Oh, thank you, Cora. I appreciate it.
You did a very good job just now. So.
Cora, you're very kind. Thank you very much. And with that, we've got 2 hours in the tank. I'm going to step out of the captain's chair, and the XO, Reverend Scott, my co-captain, is going to take over for the first half of hour number 3, and then I'll be back for the last half and to close the show with hour number 3. Thank you all for joining another edition of Ask the Atheist with Reverend Scott and the Mod Squad. If you're in the audience, we encourage everybody, especially the new speakers, to come on up. It looks like next up will be Nick Zed, so Reverend Scott, take note. And don't go away, everybody, and we'll be right back after the break.
Welcome to Sessions at AOL. Busted flat and main room, waiting on a train, and I speak.
Jesus, let's look at all this copyrighted fucking music.
No.
Yes, he said this. Yes, Kane said this. Kane said he had a different argument. He had a totally different argument what you presented. He said Nathan said this, and because he said this, it's no way possible. All I have to do is show one possibility that how can it be a straw man? That was his argument.
No, you're not sure.
No, this is some ex-girlfriend.
Yeah, you're not sure. When he made the comment,
and his argument was like this: if Nathan framed it in this way, then it's possible that that's a straw man. He made a man that it's no way possible that it's a straw man.
So I'm gonna
let me give him money, bro.
Yes, I want to make sure this is clear. So you're not tracking either. So what he was doing was
I'm tracking.
Well, I'm not actually addressing the straw man claim. So when he said, no, wait, Nathan structured the bet this way, or the bet is structured this way, we could just kill all of that by saying the bet is side got it. And when you guys see it,
just bring a whole bunch of people cosplaying as being another gender. Already, he has already had the smoking gun in your possession, but you
Wait,
allowed
Samoa,
him.
you saying they brought the engine crew in here?
Yeah, bro. He danced a whole bunch of people, and that's the crazy
that
part.
defines what they crew is this group coming in
Well,
here, helping them out.
So real quick, then you got Bob, and the thing that kind of like made me kind of look at Nathan a little weird is that you kind of have these guys at this high regard, right? Like, these guys are real intellectuals, and I started laughing because I said these guys are mud, that's right. But Bob came out, and that was the first person that he questioned, and Bob was like, "Oh, this is a straw man." And then they moved it again and said that my position was 100% nurture, right? And I started laughing because then when Incan started talking, they said, "I never said Samoa said 100% nurture." But you guys keep dying on every single thing. I mean, it's fun for it, bro, but when you start to believe the delusion, like, that's even a bigger problem.
I love Nate.
I need to change my vote.
Sounds like you're never gonna get your $50, bro.
Hey, Eric, did you get the document or no?
Yeah, I got it. Yeah.
I mean, the 70-30 poll, it's pretty definitive. I think you should pay him.
Nigga went and asked for the document. Yeah, bro.
That was crazy.
Yeah, he didn't know King had it.
You're allowed to claim, Nick, you're allowed to claim losses in your taxes.
Y'all guys are more fun. That's crazy.
Because
Don't you gotta be a citizen to claim
I
that?
believe they asked, they meant to ask.
No, I mean, if you're not a citizen, you still pay your taxes. If you're not a citizen.
No, let me file that.
Can I speak? Can I speak? No.
Yeah.
Interrupt the bro. Go ahead, man.
No, I just want to say this. Look, Samoa clearly lost. Everyone he agreed lost. The only person who said he won was ChatGPT. And ChatGPT, the way he formatted it, there was nothing like what actually happened. And that's the problem. Once you start offloading, you start letting the AI think for you. But once you start letting the AI think for you, they'll let you believe that square circle exists. But that's unfortunate, bro. You gotta take your L like a man. At the end of the day, when me and you had the debate, and you said that's because of a question, and strong man is you taking your argument and attacking a weak version of your argument and the speed of that argument. Myself, 1 second, bro. 1 second. I'm gonna tell you done. I ain't interrupt. And that's when you know you lose. When you want to interrupt. At the end of the day, bro, it was clear hell. You lost. Be a man. Pay up. I remember Knowledge made a bet when my homeboy had got. And Knowledge didn't even know the game was started, bro. The fight already ended. And I took that boy $50. But he paid my money, bro.
Even maybe so let me just point this out clearly, bro. Can a consistent become a strong man? Right? The answer is absolutely yes. Can a question be absolutely the answer is yes. And the way that is does your question address the argument on the table? And it doesn't, bro. It never did. That's how you know you lost.
Yeah, so let me ask you.
So
The argument, let me say this. He's doing the same. 1 second. He's doing the same thing again. He is arguing possibilities. Is it possible that I could have made a strong man? If we're not arguing if it's possible. We're arguing is that I actually. Everyone spoke to you, bro. They said that no, he did not. But you're saying no, it's possible. Here's the possibilities right here. If this happened and this happened, then it could be a strong man. Nah, bro.
yeah, I never said that, bro. Yeah, I never said that.
You just said it just now.
No, so I
You just said that just now.
No, hold on, so I
It's
responded to
possible that a question.
No.
It's possible that a question could be a strong man.
Yeah,
You just said that.
hold on, so I just responded to the statement that you just made when you said, all I did was ask a question, as if a question cannot be a straw man.
Yeah, and why is that important?
Wait, is that what you said?
No. Why is that important?
Because by you saying all I did was ask a question,
George
it brings in the question,
George
can a question
Steinhardt,
be a
Pig
straw man?
versus Canada.
Okay.
Let's pay my money, bro.
I think we did well for him. Let's get back to the season. Position trying to get some of that thing.
I want to ask you, Simone, like, is it really the talk about missiles in like Iran, Palestine? I mean, no, Iran and Israel.
How fast missile can get from one place?
Yeah. What was that nigga name? Birdie? What's that name? I don't know.
You lost.
Everybody in this room is on gas lit me, bro, and I had the proof. I did the math. I done went to the motherfucking site to the
What's up? What are you on? What is this?
Slaves.
I manufactured the people who manufacture the missiles to get the time ranges, bro. And I provided all the proof, but these niggas gaslit the fuck out of me. But you know, I still paid the nigga, even though to this day I don't think I was wrong.
No, you lost now.
I still paid him $50.
That's a lie. Ever cannot take.
I did pay him his money on my mama. I didn't get that.
Alright, so why did you pay
The majority of the room, they were saying us. I was like, I'm not going to be an asshole. I'm not going to be an asshole and say that, that I'm not going to decide to pay him.
Alright, so then you just basically acquiesced to the mob. Alright, so there was a statement that was made, and we had this like vote them off the island thing, right? And this was like the funny stuff, and I think we could all kind of get some fun out of the back and forth. And it was, you don't even have to pay the $50. Just acknowledge that you made a mistake. Can't do it, bro. Right? Because there's not a mistake that's being made. So if they said, hey, you don't have to pay the $50, Eric, all you have to do is say that you made a mistake. Would you do it? Eric?
My bad, I was looking at something.
Smalley, you never really lose debates, so they have to remember when the time belongs.
Yeah, I got you, bro. So here goes the question. A person says, you don't have to pay me the $50. Just acknowledge that you made a mistake. And we can all move forward. What would you do?
I wouldn't have did that. Yeah, I wouldn't have admitted that I was wrong, because I wasn't. But I paid the money like I did.
Right, so you're saying that you would never acknowledge that you're wrong, but you would pay the $50 just so you can be more comfortable by acknowledging that you're wrong. Okay, that made a lot of sense.
No, it's not that I acknowledge that I'm wrong. It's like they're appease the mob, right? They're accusing you of being wrong, even though you're not wrong. It's based on the evidence. Because when I'm wrong and I know I'm wrong, I'll admit that I'm wrong. I've done that multiple times. Like when I'm arguing with reality doesn't care about your feelings, bro. You feel like you're right. I understand that. I'm saying, but if I know, like, beyond a reasonable doubt, that objectively, I'm right. I'm not going to admit that I'm wrong, right? Because people are saying I'm wrong. I'll pay you the money, right? If the mob is demanding, I'm saying I lost. I'll pay you the money, right? Just to shut you up. But at the end of the day, I'm not wrong. And that's what I did with the situation with the Africans.
Bro, that's what I'm saying. You could be right inside your heart, bro. But just accept the fact that you lost. Listen, look, what I mean by that is this. You lost the game, you run, but still, the game is over.
That makes a lot of sense.
Everyone decided it.
That makes a lot of sense. But Nathan, when you say everyone decided it, is that pleading to be compromised? Like basically, that's what it is. The majority.
What I mean by that is this.
Pleading to the majority.
What I mean by that is this. When Samoa started saying, "Hey, this is what happened, and this is what happened," they said that no, that's
because he opened it up to the majority.
Yeah. How could it be? How could it not be a strong man when this happened and this happened? They said that still isn't a strong man. Listen,
when you asked the question, you opened it to the majority.
Everyone he talked to, they said, "Hey, it wasn't a strong man. The only people who agreed with him was people who were trying to troll me. He was trying to troll me. He was trying to troll me."
So is it a valid? Okay, I'm getting yeah. So this is how like cool this stuff is, right? Nathan doesn't realize that there's actually 3 lines of argument that was being made. One was versus him, that was easy money. Another one started to grow its antlers with Mike, because Mike needed the term consenting age to be involved in the actual original argument for his easy money. So I have the ability of tracking the actual argument. These niggas don't. So when I'm talking to Mike and he's screaming and he's saying whatever he's saying, arguments, if that's what you guys claim to be. Actually, should be able to identify exactly what's being said. So you don't even know there was 3 different arguments, and that sucks, right? So when it says, "Hey,
What about when you start explaining it to Sasha? And Sasha said, "No, Samoa, you're wrong. It's not a strong man.
No,
Samoa, you're wrong." What about that time?
Yeah, the
That was
reason
the
why
last time.
the reason why Sasha lost is because Sasha kept on. Why not? Aren't you in a society?
You won.
No, but hold on. Sasha kept on making assumptions. The assumption was, well, doesn't every society have an attraction to a minor? Doesn't it? That was exactly what was being used as, look at this person's making an assumption. You're trying to misrepresent my argument. That's the
You lost, brother. You lost.
Have a good Sunday, Big Tom.
I don't expect you to be able to track it, and that's fine, bro. That's fine. Like, everybody can just have fun.
You can talk about me, right? You can try to make it seem like I don't understand. I get that. That's cool. But we already did this already. When we actually had other people that come in and they analyze your ChatGPT response, don't work, bro, because it requires you to be able to think. If you don't know what a strong man is, and you're just reading off of ChatGPT, and ChatGPT is trying to say what I don't even know what ChatGPT was doing. But anyways, when you were just reading off, it didn't sound like you know what you were talking about. And it's so bad. It's so bad. It's so bad that you had people. You even had knowledge explain it to you how it wasn't a strong man, bro. You even had Mike try to explain it to you. Everyone. Then when you went at it and you argued against Sasha. Sasha said, "No, Samoa. It's not a strong man. It's not a strong man."
All right, so let me ask you one question. Why would all 3 of them have a different reason why it's not a strong man? For example, Knowledge says...
Your question is a strong man.
So real quick, so Knowledge... So Knowledge said it would be a strong man. It would be a strong man, but because Nathan didn't intend to, intentionality is a requisite for it to be a strong man. Nobody else agrees with that, but that's his position, and that's fine. Mike's position was it's not a straw man because of the fact that you opened the door by saying something about a consenting age, which garnered the question about a potential attraction to a minor. And then Sasha would say, "Oh, why can't you have this? Why can't you have that? Why can't you have this? This should be open for inquiry." Yeah, but not open for assumption. So you oversimplified the actual response, but just think about it. If anybody Googles it right now, you can easily debunk what Knowledge is saying. Does a straw man have to be intentional?
Dude,
right?
this is why.
I mean, let me just finish this last thing. So Aiken, and this is when Nathan fell back, Aiken and Spike, they thought that they had a +1. So they were cheering, they were congratulatory, they were like, "Oh yeah, in order for it to be a straw man, you have to intend to it and grit and the richness of the act." It was total gas, bro. It was all gas. We found out as soon as King put the prompt in, you don't have to intend or have intention for it to be a straw man. So then Sai goes back and he runs his prompt. He goes, "Oh yeah, my bad." Okay, cool. So that kills Knowledge's argument, right? Because Mike fact checked it and Mike realized that you don't have to intend, or you don't have to be intentional in a straw man for it to be a straw man. So look, I'll just tell you, I can take every single one of the bricks away from the wall, and now you're just sitting there looking dumb.
Captain.
But we could just move
Captain
on.
the Queen's name, George Deinhardt.
You have like this other argument that's inside your head. That's not reality. I asked you a question, and you accused me of strong man, and you.
Captain the Queen's name, George Deinhardt versus candidate Congressman John Kitover.
Yeah, I killed the wrong. Once I got killed the wrong. I say to you. Oh shit. Yo. You from the Bahamas, right, bro? Sometimes you gotta get more money. Yeah. You from the Bahamas, right, Nathan? Yeah. Okay. So did you know the Bahamas is not considered part of the Caribbean? Oh shit. Considered part of America? No, it's not. It's technically not a Caribbean country. It's part of the Lucayan archipelago. It's technically not associated with the Caribbean. So y'all are not a Caribbean. Y'all are not a Caribbean nation. It's in the bro. And we have to point out our way, bro. That isn't true.
No. The countries that are considered part of the Caribbean are part of the Caribbean geographical basin. Y'all are in a different archipelago, so y'all are not in the Caribbean basin. It's a geographic formation. Those countries are
That's
technically
right.
Caribbean. Y'all are Caribbean wannabes, so.
That's right.
That's wrong. That's wrong.
That's true. They're not a Caribbean country.
No, I know what you're saying. You would be right, but when people say Caribbean, they mean the region culturally,
That's
right?
white people. Caribbean are real Caribbean. The big Caribbean.
That's like saying islands in the Lesser Antilles are Caribbean.
They're not. That's why.
At that point, you're saying like if we measure it,
Back it up.
Yo, Mike.
No, but I mostly was just sharing that because I hate never
What about for you?
Yo, Mike. Strong man. I'm gonna be debating on his name. It's actually strong man. Yeah, this dude is now arguing that, okay, you should have but I'm giving some instance when a person could be a strong man. And he literally arguing that right now.
No, that's not what I just said, bro. What the hell?
You just started arguing about you and Mike and all this other stuff. But my whole point was to just like, be a strong man. If you live,
Bro, this
you
nigga
the sword. If you do this, and if you do
This
this,
nigga
that's how
Nathan
you
is strong, bro.
be a strong man.
Alright, so real quick, just so everybody's here, bro, and we all heard you. When you gave your first submission, you said 3 times, all I did was ask a question, as if a question can't be a straw man. And I just corrected that from the statement you made today.
No, I was saying that because you believe that what I was doing was distorting and doing all this other crazy stuff. So I was telling you that I wasn't doing that. I asked you a question. You accused me of strawmanning you, and I was like, no, I was asking you a question. Asking a question.
Mike.
And now you're arguing now, and the question be a straw man.
No.
This is the fantasy against reality,
Can't
bro.
feel the need.
You see right now,
Did
if
you
I
hear
say,
his
hey,
comment right
Good
now?
Steinhardt.
like, what I just said to Mike, when I say, Mike, hey, what happened? And Mike say, hey, you strong man. My response to Mike would be, no, I just asked a question. And now you're saying that, oh, it's a possible question. Can't be and all this stuff, blah, 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 blah.
Alright, so let's ask Mike.
You can't do that.
Alright, so you heard Nathan. You heard what he said. Okay. When he says, all I did was ask a question, what is he implying? Mike, what he
he's
says?
implying that a question is harmless and doesn't have the nefarious intent that we can all perceive.
What does he say? Even Orion said it. That's crazy. Alright, so Nathan just offered this submission because I was responding to what he said today. So did you hear what Nathan just said? I don't want to try to rephrase anything. I just want to see if you heard what he just said.
Sorry, repeat that again. My family's in my ear.
No, I know exactly how that feels. So Nathan just made a statement. I was wondering, did you hear what he just said?
Attacked former Congressman John
I understand
Kitover.
what happened, so I don't need to hear what people said.
Alright. You mean from the past or from today?
Not from today, from the past.
Alright, so you need to hear it from today because he's kind of doing this right. So today he made a comment to the stage. He said, Samoa said that it was a straw man. And then in his submission he says, all I did was ask a question. What is he implying there?
All I did, I don't know.
Okay.
No, guide me through it.
Projection.
Yeah, I mean, Orion just said it. That's why.
What did he say?
Go ahead, Orion.
Well, he's implying that because he engaged in the action of asking a question, there's no nefarious intent, simply because all he did was ask a question. But in reality, what he's doing is creating this fucked up scaffolding to make an argument against something that we all know is true.
I don't even know how you
It's just a rhetorical trick. It's just rhetorical.
I'm not falling to anything anyone's saying, so.
Oh shit. My bad. Maybe
What does that statement mean?
Why that? The question that he asked you wasn't a straw man.
That he just asked me a question, right? That
Yeah,
it's not a strong man.
love it.
He's saying the question I asked you wasn't a straw man. So that basically puts it all together.
I'm not interpreting that. Right? because it's not. No, the question is, here's why. I just asked him a question.
Yeah, okay, so what he's saying, he's responding to this. So what's that straw man? Okay, so Samoa's saying that I straw man him, and all I did is ask him a question. So what he's saying is, Samoa's referring to the question that I asked. So the straw man, I didn't straw man him. I just asked him a question. So that's not assuming a motivation of being nefarious or anything like that. He's just saying Samoa's making this claim, and the claim is false because all I did was X.
And it's like when you punched him, he slipped and fell and hit his head, and then he died.
No, you're right.
You know what I'm saying?
Wait. That
last
No. You're begging the question. The reason why is because the act of killing somebody is taking someone's life. We're trying to see if the person was in fact killed.
This is not a perfect analogy, and so I hear you're right. I'll say that you're right. This is not a perfect analogy, but the point that Nathan is erroneously trying to, make is that because I asked the question, I cannot have been doing this. And it's like I could have tried to kill him. That's what. But he said all I did was ask the question. I asked him the question. What's wrong with that? Seems to be the shit you're saying. Is all I did was ask.
Let me restate it to what I think that it was mentioned in the way that you're interpreting mine. Nathan's response was, Samoa says that I straw man. The question I asked him was not a straw man. It was a question. A legitimate question, right? Like, you can apply this to a legitimate question at that point. But what you just said, Samoa says that I straw man. All I did was ask him a question.
Yeah, so I see what you're saying. So you're saying, like, the implication of a question being a straw man is not possible. That's what you're based off of that statement, right? I think somebody actually said that. It might have even been me, right? I do remember that.
The Queen's Navy George Steinhardt versus Canada Congressman John Kitover.
But somebody did say something like that, where a question couldn't be a straw man. And I guess if the question was, I think we need to look into this. If the question's rhetorical, right? So then what you're saying is, right, that could be a straw man. So there was a distinction made between those two things. Do you remember that? Am I tripping?
No, you're right. That shit happened. But that's kind of what I'm saying. Like, I could come up and be like, God damn, I didn't know your mom was an ugly ass bitch.
You're like,
yeah, it's like you can like force yourself from the claim that you're making.
So like, you're like, the shooter was a leftist. So what you're saying is that all leftists are shooters? That would be a strong
there's some shit in there, yeah.
When did you stop beating your wife?
No, that's just
No, that's a loaded question. Yeah, that's it. So Mike, what I was saying to Nathan was there was 3 different lines of arguments that were being made for it to be an actual trauma, and that your line and I was different from his line and I. When you were trying to get in the whole within society, there's like this consenting age, right? Like you needed that for it to not be a straw man because it opens up a line of inquiry. And he wanted to omit that from the actual argument. Do you remember that whole back and forth?
I remember a little bit about it, yeah. It's like, that's about
or remedying, the argument with you is not addressed to him. And then there was another thread with Incan, and then Incan started doing whatever he was doing, like spazzing out and shit. And I'm just letting Nathan know that sometimes these arguments have to be organized so then you understand exactly what you're responding to. So the straw man in your case would be different from the straw man in Nathan's case. And then when knowledge, because you just brought up knowledge, when knowledge says, hey, it would be a straw man, but unfortunately you're the one who said he didn't intend to do it. Now he's hinging on the fact that a straw man needs to be intentional, but we already fleshed that one out too. So I'm just removing. I'm like, who the fuck cares? Like, we're just recapping.
But you lost, brother. You lost. I know you're trying to recap, but you lost. When you laid out your argument with Sasha, when everyone, they said no Samoa. When Nathan did, was not a strong man. They said that. I don't know why you feel it's that way. every example that you give is demonstrating that Howard wasn't a strong man. Now Samoa, just pay up my money. I know it hurts to be the one that can't lose, but you just got served, homeboy. Just like the movie you got served when you thought that everything was gonna be good and your homeboys were gonna be there. I was that homeboy. Now pay up. Now you gotta.
Oh, this nigga is funny, bro. That's just crazy, man. No, but the reason why I did, bro, is because you had like a lot of like weird people, and it seemed like it was really affecting them, like emotionally. Like in my back channel, was talking about like holding stage hostage, shit like that, right? And I was like, oh, I ain't trying to fuck up your, you know what I'm saying? Like you guys' platform, it's a good platform, bro. So, you know.
You could have just paid, bro.
No, I'll let you know this, bro. Like, I'll let you know when you win, right? Like, if you got me, you got me. It's nothing to pay the debt. I've already paid debts already that I've already lost. So I'm not saying we're lost, right? But you can't try to take cheap wins that I'm never gonna, because it doesn't do you any good. It just
I
makes
didn't take a cheap wins.
you're trying to right now.
No, this isn't.
I know you feel that way, but you know
this is Blair L, bro.
Yeah, okay.
Blair L.
Okay. But you got the documents though, right?
Bro, I got the memory. What happened with you and Sasha? I got the recording.
Hey, you got a recording?
No, I don't.
That's wild. That's wild.
I got the memory, bro. With you and Sasha.
Oh, so soon.
Sasha said no. Nathan is my strong mentality. I'm like that good.
Nathan, what did Bob say?
Bob said no. He didn't strong mentality.
So Bob.
Yeah.
Who did Bob say was right? Me or Bart?
He said both of y'all was right.
No, he did not. No, he did not.
Yes, he did. He said if Bart framed it that way, then yes.
And Bart didn't frame it that way.
Bro, I swear, that's how I heard it, bro.
That's how you understood it. That's how you understood it. And I'll tell you why, and I can prove to you why. Remember that?
Thanks again for all the hard work. The moment the most I can afford to pay you.
It was because you were explaining his perspective.
65 a day, 300 max.
Bart has it backwards. That's the thing. All I'm saying is that, like, when Bart first explained himself, he said that sounds ridiculous. And then it got down to the, okay, well, in order to do that, you have to preface this first. And that wasn't done. Now, he could say, this is what I meant, but then I'm going to hold that, the way I understand it, is like a relative position, not so much like a broad or a simple explanation as to something. And because what, anyways. Well, hey.
Let me know what he did, man. We're trying to school with tourism. Making tourism rooms within the 3 months.
According to Lucky, claimed that he was like an OG of chillism. That's not true. That's not true. Okay, let me ask you this. The name Chillism, was it Chillism before the name?
What do you mean Chillism before the name?
Like you
Chillism, right?
Yeah. We made it.
I want to understand this through your lens. Okay, because I was here when it was Toxic, Taylor,
That was his house.
and that's what brought all of us together initially. Remember when I got at James is tired?
Yep.
And then Toxics, remember when he started doing the AI thing where the AI would like interact with people or something like that, or the robot or some shit? And then he went back to Discord, right? No, he went. I shouldn't say he went back, but he went to another place. I thought it was Discord. And then when
he went to
Facebook, whatever. He went. So you're right. I think it was actually Facebook. Then at that point, because I remember you guys were my morning like routine. It was like Discord was like PPR or something like that. At one point.
PNR, politics, religion, and religion.
Yeah, it was in a transitional phase where
PNR.
And then after that, it became Chillism. Toxic was already gone. Now, Toxic, this is
since we had white belts, it was always chillism. It was like chillism 2009, 2020. It was like chillism and then a year. Chillism. But all the rooms.
Wait. Okay, so then this is my understanding. Then. So you're saying that when it was PR&R, there was a room chillism?
No, there wasn't.
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay, now.
No, what I'm saying is this.
Hold on, real quick. When the room chillism was made, right? Toxic was already gone, right?
Correct.
Recorded anthems will be made.
That's fine.
When we started it.
Let's show the owners recording the chillism, the room.
Yeah. It's gonna start with chillism. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. And I don't think Toxic was there because I remember when this whole thing, because remember it got down to like 4 people. It was like you, Yah Rasul, Knowledge, and fuck, I want to say me, dog. I just remember waking up in the morning, Dark Dawkins started fading out, and we were talking. Remember when I was like, dude, Nathan, why are you after that fucking white guy, blah, blah, blah. And you're like, when he comes, it's the Dark Dawkins show. Remember all that stuff? Remember that phase? Remember? And Toxic wasn't there. My point is this, is that I believe, from my understanding, Toxic is your OG friend. So, like, there's no challenge there. I think Barth is too. But I'm saying the origin of the room, chillism, as far as my experience, had no part or contribution in development.
So, Mike, when we first stayed in the room, it was on May 20th, right?
What year?
In the first 2023. And the first chillism room was May 25th. There was 2 other ones. It was What is Evidence, Anti-Bully, Atheist, BPJ, and then chillism.
Okay, wait. And then what? So when you say and then chillism, is that when the room started?
Oh, that's the name we had, chillism.
Yeah, you made the name. I remember you thinking of the name.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm saying when the room chillism was made, you say you have a recording. Was Toxic in there?
Yeah, Toxic was in the room from the conception.
I don't remember that.
I'll show it to you.
All right. And Knowledge, what do you think? Oh, I already know. So I'm just gonna kind of.
Yeah, I just seen the old recordings.
You just check right now?
Yeah, I just checked 3 of the old recordings. I don't see him.
He's not in there. Oh, my son.
Did you look at it?
Go ahead, Nathan. Hey, buddy.
Old one. The old white belts are us.
No, I'm not talking about white belts.
Change the name.
I'm talking about chillism.
Yeah, he was a part of white belt.
No, he wasn't.
Yeah, exactly.
Chillism wasn't a room name, though. We never had a room name chillism.
That's the point. When we started using the name chillism, that specific name, he wasn't there.
Everybody knows this space as chillism. If I go into another room, I'm the guy from chillism, not the guy from white belts. Chillism became the standard name. It's the fucking trademark. And all I'm saying, exclusive to that terminology, which encompasses all of us that come together, right? Even we don't talk about white belts. We talk about chillism. We are chillism, right? When Io tried to copy you, he copied chillism, right? When other people try to copy the rules, they copied chillism.
Canada John wants to dramatically cut NAA funded by 400 billion years.
He's an OG.
I just messed up. What are you saying now? What was this claim?
That and Lucky's down there, that he was like an OG founder of chillism, I believe. That's what
I wasn't a founder of chillism. He came into the room. When I made the room and everything like that, he came.
Nah, he hardly was there, bro. You know why? Because if it wasn't about him at that time, he wasn't about it.
Yeah,
He likes to be famous. Now, like, I think his return, his resurrection came back with this idea that, he just has to concede that he's just not the guy. You guys are the guy. You guys are the people. You guys built something. So when I hear that, I'm kind of like, oh, hey, I would even say Barth was in here way more than him. That's what Barth did that.
You know what happened?
What's that?
I'm gonna tell you what happened. So look, when we first, it started with me and Knowledge, right? We had a room with gentleman. That was
So all this is within
before
2020.
we made the room. Right before we made the house, white belt for us. And the rooms were like anti-bullying. But then, like 3 days after the house was made, we got our first kill with the book. Like the name, like it was white belt for us, and the room started.
PTR, I was wrong. That's one of the first ones around August 2023.
Okay, there he is.
Yeah, so yeah, he was there. And because sometimes he would start something, and I got another one too.
Oh shit, look at, those are the real. Look at Charles, he got Bart's OG fucking G.I. Joe thing.
Look at this one.
Damn, bro. I come back, bro. Y'all killed the room, bro. It's crazy.
This one is older. This was made. This is the first room with the name Kitover on it.
Oh, he's in there.
Yeah, you see?
Yeah.
Wait, yeah, knowledge. Your phone tells you how many people are in the room.
This is the old version of Clubhouse.
Alright, well then maybe I can see what. I mean, he's there, but I guess yeah. And I can't say that again. So. I don't remember that motherfucker. I ain't gonna lie, bro.
You know what happened? Let me tell you what happened. After him and Timothy got into it, and he blocked Timothy from the house.
Okay.
And then after he blocked the white belts like us, and then he got his heat there for a while because we didn't make an enactment. And then after he
I see.
And then recently he came back.
Look at Boris, bro. Oh shit. That's fucking funny.
So that's what happened. So after he Timothy, yeah, he's having
Yo, knowledge was having a fucking.
Was happening what?
You had hair back then, bro.
Oh.
You see me nowhere?
Is that what?
You see me though?
Yeah. You lost me.
Yeah. I'll lock you up, man. Fuck with your boy. I'll knock you up.
You know what's crazy, Mike?
People that are losing their jobs because they're laughing and mocking Charlie's death.
Those are private companies taking your employees from the.
So you think like Fox News, MSNBC, those are private companies? Is that what you think?
I'm sorry, are you saying that they're government-run institutions?
Do you think that there's nobody in the government you don't think that anyone in the government is a stockholder?
No, not necessarily.
No.
George Steinhardt versus Congressman John Kitover.
Like, what are you saying?
What do you mean?
Like, the federal government doesn't own ABC.
I didn't say that they owned. I didn't say anything about owning. I said people. No, that's not what I said. I said that they have stockholders. They have people that invest in those companies, and they have to keep their investors happy, right? Otherwise,
That's a private company's decision. I'm saying when you have the federal government stepping in, saying somebody should be fired because they don't like what they're saying, that is a problem.
Both things
okay,
are
so
true.
then, like Twitter was then was not. No, Twitter. We thought that was owned by Jack, and nope.
Well, Jimmy Kimmel, both things are true because there were two companies, Nordstrom, I forget the names, and they said they were going to show Kimmel's show in their areas, and I think it was, I forget the exact percentage, but I think it was like 60% of the country was going to be blocked on his show anyway. Plus, his ratings had a very big fall. So that's the free market at work, as people are saying it's free speech. But here's the thing. If it was just that, and that was the only reason that he was taken off the air, that's great. And I'm all for it. I don't like him, and that's the free market at work. He's not doing well. But the problem is...
Yeah, we got 60 seconds of Tanya inside of me. All right, here you go. Here's your 60 seconds of Tanya. Pick a number 1 through 50. Anybody? Any number 1 through 50? Hello? Is this thing on? Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. Okay, number 18 it is. Here we go. Number 18.
Okay, Johnson.
Number 18 is called The Nature of Wisdom. This is by the Alter Rebbe. So take the deepest breath of the day.
Wow, I'm on a roll picking numbers. Go ahead, John. Take it away.
For this thing is very near to you. What is this thing that is very near? For some, it may be self-emptying. For others, it may be rational love. But these still require a level that must be near to all. And this it is wisdom. For wisdom rests within all things, as it is written, God founded the earth in wisdom, and in wisdom you have made them all. Further, wisdom fills all life, as it is written, wisdom gives life to those who possess it. Wisdom is the capacity to intuit the essence and ignorant, as it is written, I am foolish and ignorant. I am as a beast before you, and I am constantly with you. No matter how foolish or ignorant you are, even if you act in a manner, the promise of the Tanya is that anyone on Clubhouse can awaken to God as the source and substance of all reality, and so doing turn from evil and do good. This promise is rooted in the idea that all people are innately capable of intuiting the unity of God manifest as the multiplicity of creation. This capability is called Chokmah, wisdom. Chokmah is the first of the three mothers, the three faculties, along with rational understanding and integrative knowledge that compose your intellect cycle. Chokmah is not reserved for the righteous, but is given freely to all, even the foolish and inhumane on Clubhouse. The challenge is not to earn wisdom, but to access the wisdom already inside of you.
Can you just tell me when he's finished? I can't be bothered listening to this guy.
He was doing 60 seconds of Tanya. He's done.
Oh, you don't like books, wisdom, Torah, Tanya?
Straight to how many other platforms. This is why I blocked you, John.
Oh, feel free, you're a moderator. Feel free to block me or kick me. You can't stop me. All you can do is listen to me. Some people like to speak and talk all the time.
I don't even know how that works. Does anybody know?
It's been running like this forever, decades, and Abby needs to get in here.
That's so funny.
And John is back. John is back.
Johnny's back, babe!
All right, Carter.
You can't stop me.
How are you today?
Oh, fabulous day, fabulous day. How's everybody doing today? There's some lovely Jewish women, some strong Jewish men in this room. Zionist.
And one was. Can we change the title?
Absolutely. I'm looking for a trigger.
All right, I'm gonna change it. Give me a second. I'll change it.
Okay, good. And one Muslim that gets attacked by the fake Muslims in Amir's room. Amazing.
Yes.
Amazing. because he's against Hamas, so they feel the need to attack him. They believe that Israel has the right to exist. That's so puzzling. Because he wants to stand on the right side of humanity. He's considered a fake Muslim to them. Wow. I heard it.
To be clear, I'm not on either side. I'm just neutral, but I was attacked for being.
She's a proud Zionist. This guy Seneca loves the Jewish people, loves the Muslim brothers. But it's fair to say you love everybody, you know?
I love
you love all humans.
Yes, all humans.
Okay, so what's the problem with that? Stand proud, stand strong, brother. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, I do love the Zionists. There's nothing wrong with that. I also love the Muslims too.
There's nothing wrong with that. You're allowed to, but they want you to hate, which is sad.
Yes, they want me to hate because I would not hate.
Did you get an room? Ping me in because I want to. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I will. Thank you. How you doing, Grace?
Doing good. I'm traveling right now.
Nice.
McGee.
We just came home from Freaky Friday.
Freaky Friday.
That's what we did this morning. Freakier Friday.
The king of the Persian people is here. All hail the king. All hail the king.
Just got home, bro.
I just got home. It's Freaky Friday. That's what we did.
All hail the king. Welcome, king.
John, I think I remember.
You remember? And you think?
Grace is a funny animal.
You think and remember? Wow!
Aren't you the one that told us your IG a lot? Nobody really cares about your. I don't know, man.
I gotta be more like you.
Party.
That's what we do. We live in the woods, no people around us, so we get out and we party. Yeah, I'm definitely from the woods too. I think what I call party is a bonfire somewhere in the back of the woods. That's what we do here. That's we have big bonfires. Very good big bonfires. Stop.
Which can mean two things.
Okay, I'm going to read a response from the Israeli Foreign Minister today to the Palestinian state. Who's true?
Sorry. Massive stroke.
Okay, thanks. Israel categorically rejects the one-sided declaration of the recognition of a Palestinian state made by the United Kingdom and some other countries. This declaration does not promote peace, but on the contrary, further destabilizes the region and undermines the chances of achieving a peaceful solution in the future. Called by Hamas leaders, the fruits of October 7 massacre, the declaration not only rewards the biggest massacre of Jews since the Holocaust by a terror organization that is calling and acting for the annihilation of Israel, but also solidifies the support of that Hamas enjoys. It is destructive to separate statehood, one of the final status issues, from peace. This move goes against all logic on negotiation and reaching a compromise between the two sides, and it will push the desired policy nor did it take the required measures to combat terrorism, as demonstrated recently with the discovery of rockets and missiles near Ramallah last week. The Palestinian Authority is part of the problem and not part of the solution. This is also the reason why the United States imposed sanctions on the Palestinian Authority and prevented its senior officials from entering its territory. In any case, Israel will not accept any detached and imaginary text that attempts to force it to accept indefensible borders. Political gestures aimed at domestic voting audience only are the least and are not helpful. Instead, if the countries that signed this declaration truly wish to stabilize the region, they should focus on pressuring Hamas to release the hostages and to disarm immediately. That's basically what the statement says. Netanyahu has also said as well that a Palestinian state will not be formed west of the River Jordan. And that's an important statement as well. He also said as well that he's leaving for the United Nations General Assembly meeting in the States. He also said before he left that he has fought against this establishment of a Palestinian state in Judea and Samaria, and a governmental decision in response to this unilateral declaration of a Palestinian state will result in some hard-reaching declarations by the Israeli government, which he will detail upon his return from the UN General Assembly. It is thought in Israel, by the way, that Israel could now annex up to 87 to 88% of Judea and Samaria, and therefore basically declaring that that is Israeli territory. By the way, it is Israeli territory. I've talked about this before. There is a clause in international law that is called uti possidetis juris that has been applied to multiple countries after war. It was applied to the breakdown of the Russian the US territory, and the other side has been offered territory but they refuse it, then the country that has taken the territory and established a state has right to rule over the land that was originally owned by a mandated country. In other words, Judea and Samaria, etc., under this law, international law, which is again uti possidetis juris, would mean that Judea and Samaria is Israel, as is Gaza, by the way. But we'll wait and see what happens. And I'm of a firm opinion that this is going to happen after the UN General Assembly. Israel will make a declaration of annexation.
What do y'all think of that?
It's the appropriate response. I thought that these unilateral declarations were conditional upon, like, Hamas releasing the hostages and the PA reforming there. 5 steps that they would never do. So, have they forgotten that, or?
Well, Yaakov, they're playing into the population's politics as well, right?
Yeah, I know that.
Labor in the
always be rewarded by me, and I never forgot.
The far left, the hard left, and the pro-Palestinians in the UK are denying it ever happened, saying the majority of UK voting, he's also going to recognise this, along with Australia, Canada, and the United Kingdom. It's absolutely insanity. How can you recognise a state with no internationally recognised borders? Like none. It's insanity beyond belief.
It's a small chance we defeat them.
I know in Canada too yesterday, the Prime Minister recognized Palestine as a state, but you also have teachers leading as females. That doesn't mean that it's true.
Like a couple months ago when the Prime Minister of Canada said that statement, it was of course couched in this language of, well, Hamas is hostages.
Exactly.
They could not take part in the government afterwards. He has like all that. Yeah. So then he just went back on all that shit.
Independent state, which I said inherits the internal administrative boundaries of its preceding colonial or dependent territory, thereby preserving territorial integrity and preventing conflict. In principle, this principle, which originated in Roman law, applies to the time of independence, effectively freezing the existing borders to promote stability and avoid the internal struggles and challenging frontiers that could arise from redrawing them after decolonization. The principle ensures that the reform states maintain a clear territorial definition from Israel agreed to the land that was given to them, that was actually chopped up after the Peel Commission also. It was reduced in size because the Pan-Arabism was pressuring these agreements to give the Jews less land. Israel then agreed to it. David Ben-Gurion, the War of Independence broke out.
Thought he would have exclusive footage to discredit me. It's always the opposite effect when you're trying to be sincere and transparent.
I didn't realize that Labor keeps on done this because his party is failing. They're doing this to pander to votes. They're doing everything that they can to scrape up as many fucking votes as they possibly can. That's literally why the UK's done this.
Yeah, but Keir Starmer hasn't shot himself in the foot.
All publicity.
You know, he thought.
Oh yeah, I agree with you. Yes.
He shot himself in the foot because he's trying to placate all the Labour voters of Muslim or from Pakistani background. That's the reason why he did this. Because they were all revolting and saying, if you don't do this, Keir Starmer, we're going to withdraw as the Labour Party. That's the whole reason why he did it. And he's trying to make it like, this is a very humane thing that we're doing because we want to accept Palestine and stuff like that. We want Israel.
They just do arms trades with Israel. They literally sell arms to Israel, which they'll keep doing, by the way.
Oh yeah, they'll still do that, and then on the front they'll say, oh, you know what, we're trying to be as representative in terms of election, but there's absolutely no way the British people, and there's no way that they have supported this, in terms of this recognition of Palestine. I'm sorry, it's complete bollocks.
Well, the non-Muslim people.
Yeah, the non-Muslim people in the UK, there's absolutely no way that they signed up to this. No, they did not.
No, there was a poll that came out. I think it was today or yesterday or day. It was overwhelmingly disagree that Palestine should be recognized as a state in the UK. Like, yeah, the British people don't want that. So yeah, it's Keir Starmer who's panicking. I mean, they must go into number 10 Downing for their meetings every single day and just like breathe a sigh of relief that their party hasn't looked worse that day, because this country's falling apart right now, absolutely falling apart, and it's because of that. So they're probably freaking out, and they're just pandering to try to stay in office a little bit longer to get their like fucking evil policies put through.
Yeah, Senator Lindsey Graham has just released a statement also. About half an hour ago, he said 80 years after the end of World War II, where over 6 million Jews were killed by the Nazis for simply being Jewish, the so-called civilized world is rewarding modern day religious Nazis with an arbitrary Palestinian state designation. To those Western leaders who embrace this, I do not believe you're anti-Semitic, just shockingly ignorant and blind to what your interest for Israel's security is truly rewarding the largest slaughter of Jews since World War II. Because of these actions, throughout this terrorist world, October 7 will now be considered Liberation Day. Hamas, Hezbollah, Iran and the Houthis do not wish for two states. They wish to destroy the Jewish people and drive Israel into sea. Their words, not mine. That was Lindsey Graham around 13 minutes ago.
Didn't Trump just meet with the king and Keir Starmer? Like, what the fuck were they thinking doing that? They had to clearly pass this by Trump. But then to do this, what, like 3 days after he was here?
700 signatures, so
there were some reports that they obviously had disagreement in terms of the UK accepting regulation. I don't think Trump was very happy with Keir Starmer at the moment. It's so embarrassing. This is like ridiculous.
I mean, yeah, like it just makes me want to leave this place faster.
You're not really British, are you?
So the transgender shooter.
What?
No, he's British.
No, he's Indian.
Well, no, he might not be like English, but he's British.
Right. What's your ethnicity, Rumar?
What difference does it make? What ethnicity are you?
How many times have I told you I'm half Indian, my dad's from India, and my mother's from Iran?
Right, so guys, what do you think about freeing Sudan?
I have no opinion on Sudan.
Yeah, I know very little about Sudan.
What do you think about the Chicago drill scene, like Chief Keef and Tulsa? What if we deployed them to Gaza, Chief Keef, and the Palestinians?
Does someone want to just like kick him because he's not really adding anything to this conversation? We're having a good conversation until you get in this, right?
Chief Keef has the potential to say.
Anyways, all in all, it's a massive error of judgment and just error in general. The UK is going to this.
They don't want this inquiry to come out. But it has to come out.
So the transgender
This inquiry has to come out.
Of course, well, I mean, they haven't even started the inquiry yet. They're holding off on it.
Just kidding.
People need to understand that in the UK, there were Pakistani Muslims that were grooming Christian girls, like white girls, Jewish girls, Sikh girls, Hindu girls, and that's why they did that. Just because they were not Muslim. So it was fair game. They did this. It happened.
Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, on the same page, 100%. It's disgusting, like really disgusting stuff. So I really hope that
Oh, now?
the Labour Party
So
falls
too
a little
late.
more into disrepair after this enunciation that they believe that Palestine is a state. Is there even a leader in Palestine? Is there even like an elected leader that can like represent the country for like legal proceedings and stuff?
I think the way that I look at it, I think
Все профи Кристина
they
Весела,
all change.
Сергей Лупа,
They need to go back to they're Arabic, they're Muslim, then they need to go back to their countries. There's already been allocated countries. Look at Arab Muslim countries. How many are there?
How many did you say? It's 21.
Was 21. Oh yes, 21 Arab Muslim countries, but in total Muslim countries there are like 50. But they should go like I don't think
It's a small chance of
because
anything, but there's a
Muslim
small chance in the hard work I think that's going to be your success. It will always work with me. Never forget.
even like Yasser Arafat was born in Egypt. He was actually Egyptian. Yasser Arafat. Do you know that?
Either you do it the easy way, which is you take care of it on your own, or we're going to have to get involved, which means that they open an investigation and they start looking into Jimmy Kimmel doing blackface. They start looking into all of his comments. It becomes a public mess, and ABC's names gets dragged through the mud, whether they like it or not, which is part of the procedures that any public broadcast is subjected to, left or right, including Fox News. So ABC said, what are we going to do, considering we have all these complaints?
Wait, if I go to hold on, Sal.
Wait a minute, so this is being based on literally, it's hard to
private company doing their own business. But you just literally told us that the government is getting involved with the man's lyric. He's not screaming fire and crowded thing. He's performing. He has his lyric. He has his speech. He has his comedy. And the government is interfering into this.
No.
Literally,
Listen to me. Private citizens issued a complaint. DJ, yes, it's exactly how it works. Private individuals issued a complaint to the FCC, the government body that is in charge of left-wing communication.
What did he violate that was against the law?
They did. What did he violate? He said something that the affiliates, that the people who watch those affiliates,
what does it have to do with the government?
I know Lashon doesn't work very well. It's the opposite.
making it seem like an unfair
process was used.
No,
That's
leave it
the
to
point.
up and
It
have
was
completely.
completely
It didn't have to do with the FCC. Alex, you're absolutely
and
correct.
applied
That's
to
everything.
everything.
You've been going
That
up
was
with
EJ saying that.
I think it's not. This is a totally false argument. The FCC didn't even pull him. Disney pulled Jimmy Kimmel.
Yeah, that's just
No, you're saying the private organization.
Okay.
You guys are arguing about FCC for
No. I get the point.
That's what we're saying.
Here's the other point. What Pam Bondi said. It's very clear. You can say anything you want. And here's the other part. Before I leave Jimmy Kimmel. Jimmy Kimmel can still say anything he wants. He hasn't lost his free speech rights. He can't say it on ABC, but he can still go and do a podcast and say whatever he wants. Of course, if he does it on YouTube, he might get removed the way people on the right have been removed on YouTube. So that's that, number one. Number two, again, using the same weapons that the left has used. What Pam Bondi did is she said, look, you can still say anything you want, but then hate speech or a racially motivated crime, if tied with violence, will be used. So in other words, if a black man and a white man get in a fight, and the white man kills the black, that is a murder. If in the commission of that crime, the white man says, "Why die you?" fill in the racial slur, that now becomes a hate crime. That's what she is specifically talking about. And the fact that
What are you talking about? If a black guy goes ahead and kills a white guy and says, "Die, you kill racial slur," that's a hate crime. What you just said about the white guy killing a black guy is a hate crime. If you say murder is one thing, and then hate crime is a different thing, different context with another race, now you're comparing apples to oranges. That one makes no sense, right? Two, about the ABC.
Okay, now, hold on. So this is, honestly, this room and today is about Charlie Kirk. This room, I don't give a fuck about Jimmy Kimmel. I could give two fucks. I don't care if he's canceled, not canceled. I don't care.
Thank you for saying that.
About Charlie Kirk, I don't want to fucking talk about it.
Yeah, this is white only. Are you white?
No, I'm not.
Yeah, just got censored and just censored.
I'm very much so culturally African American.
Yeah, you gotta go back to the note.
And then Ann is right. I apologize.
Come on, man.
Because this is everyone trying to mitigate the fact
You go for like 15 minutes, bro. Pass the mic.
everybody's trying to mitigate the fact that the left killed Charlie
Exactly.
Kirk, and they're trying to
I know.
Okay, I have to get into
That's it.
So where are we assassinating Charlie Kirk's character? What are we saying against Charlie Kirk that he didn't do?
Let me get here. I'm sorry.
George
This is my theory, right? And I'm sorry, but I'm socially, as an African American woman, I'm positioned in a place in this society where I can see the white power moves from my dynamic position because I'm a single minority, right?
Are you talking about yourself?
No, let me speak. I'm trying to make a point.
Harriet's cool, guys.
I know, but why are we doing this? Like,
Because I'm trying to preference room. I'm trying to preference my opinion.
Does she have her free speech or anything?
No, I made it very clear what this room was about. It's not about race. It's not about Jimmy Kimmel.
I'm trying to speak and I just got to hear. I was just telling you where my opinion was coming from before I stated my opinion. Oh my goodness, exactly. That's exactly what I'm saying.
Chill out. Hold on, you guys. Hold on. In the meantime, we can talk about freedom of speech. That's fine. But let's just try to keep it a little bit more generic, not specific examples. I mean, other examples outside of this event is fine.
if you want to go there, Harry, you can. But let's just stick to like that, and like let's not get too specific. If that's possible.
I was just prefacing where my opinion was coming from. I was just telling y'all who I was and why I see the perspective that I see before I even told y'all.
What's the opinion?
The opinion was that the Jays are pulling a U on y'all, right? We have yep. The Jays are pulling a U on y'all. They're pulling a U on y'all because, like I said, a preference in a way in this country is a part of a faction that kind of sees how power has been moving and how power corrupts institutions, ideologies, and groups of people. And I honestly think that y'all are getting God right now. And this is deeper. You know that deep state kind of shit that y'all be talking about? I think this is more aligned with that, and we are sitting here fighting amongst each other. Instead of
So what's that got to do with you being a black?
Because I'm saying that I'm positioned in the country in a particular way where I'm positioned in a particular way where I see the way power moves because I'm not a person of privilege. So I see the way
Jewish.
The Jays are
living in America.
I'm privileged to have built America. I'm a foundational American.
Oh my God, you're privileged to be here.
You're more privileged than a white guy.
I'm privileged to be a great Jesus.
There you go. So pretty privileged.
Definitely is pretty.
Honestly, I don't think it's. I honestly am starting to believe it. Have y'all been watching Candace Owens?
Yes.
Oh, you know
That's what she's been saying.
We talked about that earlier.
You know it.
That's where I'm leaning. Candace Owens' perspective is literally where I'm going.
Yes,
I thought Candace Owens was canceled. No,
man,
She's not canceled. She's back.
Her eyes are on the prize. Since we're going down this road, would you guys?
Stop waiting for the chicken to say it.
So see, here's my thing. Here's my point, right?
Speaking along, go ahead.
Y'all want to get the Jays what they want? That's fucked up.
So here's my point, right? I thought Black Lives Mattered because last time I checked, Candace Owens was a black woman, right?
Yep.
Didn't she deal with 400 years of slavery? Didn't her family members have to deal with Jim Crow and everybody else? Why all of a sudden is she exempt from the blackness?
Oh, we love
because she speaks on things that could actually better the community if people actually chose to listen without their emotions. It's very simple, right? When she talks about crime and stuff like that, these are things that if we did decide to tackle them instead of just getting wrapped up in our emotions, that's how we could better ourselves. Now, of course, there's crime.
I agree with a lot of Candace's points. So did I agree with Charlie Kirk's points. So did I agree with...
I know you
I was just saying that if Candace Owens got assassinated, same way like Charlie Kirk, I'd be pretty pissed off. The same way if you put, some leftist retard, also debating on stage and he got assassinated, I'd be pissed off too.
Absolutely horrible. It would be absolutely horrible.
Yeah, but here's the point. Candace Owens said the same things that Charlie Kirk said. Exactly. And the black community hated her for it. Suddenly, I'm going in all these rooms on Clubhouse, and everybody's saying how wonderful Candace is. Yeah, what it is that black people hate Charlie Kirk, and they're finding a voice who also happens to be black, so it can justify their deep-seated feelings that they hate Charlie Kirk, and they're glad he's dead.
No, that's the biggest hardcore style, or is this hey man, is there a cue or is there
a little bit of popcorn, but we should reel in a little bit because it's getting a little bit wild. But Ray, is this you decided to jump in?
I'll go ahead and Ray.
All right, so real quick, a lot of conservatives and people that are far right that keep regurgitating information that has not been verified. And mind you, both sides say a lot of shit that's not verified, like the Jews and doing this and all this other stuff. I think when you come to conclusions, you have to have viable information that's earned. And not just because
you know, I mean,
What did I say?
both sides like to say, sides like to say that, or you can't believe everything the media says, but whenever the media says something that you like to hear, right, or somebody from your particular party or group, like Owens, says something that you like, you automatically agree with them without fully evaluating what they have to say. So I'm just saying overall, no, and you can respond. I just want to hit this point, and I'm going on mute. I'm going to go on mute in a second. You can hit, and you can come back at me whatever which way. Okay, real quick, but let me just hit this point. Now, if people acting as if like, if Candace Owens, if she gets assassinated, how would you like that? I mean, my thing is, I don't think you would want that, because then that would prove everything that she's saying to be true. Now, I don't give a fuck about Candace Owens personally, so I don't give a fuck about her, just like I don't give a fuck about Charlie Kirk personally. All right. But if you for someone to sit up here and say, I don't think you want that shit, honestly, for either side. So that's what I would say. But overall, go ahead and respond to me.
Well, no, I wanted to know what I said. You said you and Alan. I don't know what I said. I didn't say anything or make any assumptions about anything. I don't think you're talking about me.
I don't know. He wasn't singling you out, Ann. I don't think.
He said Ann.
No, I said Ann and Alan. I said Ann and Alan. And so, in mind you, I'm not, and it's not just you two. I'm just saying I heard. Okay, so no. Okay, I'll say that. Okay, I'm gonna repeat it real quick. So there's a lot of things that are being said as far as the guy being a hit by the leftists, when there's nothing confirmed. And once again, I will repeat this one more time, just real quick, that when it comes to both sides of the left or the right, whether it's true or not, and whenever some mainstream media, if they say what you like to say, or influence to say what you want to believe it without fact checking that individual. So, okay, go ahead.
If you think that I'm that obtuse, then you're retarded. Okay. So everything that I'm saying is well thought out. Why did I say that he was a leftist? Here's why. So the FBI, the detectives that are working on this case, and his parents, okay, So this everything that conservatives stand for. I mean, his ideology does lean to Democrat Party, which is fine. But he was definitely anti-Constitution. He was anti-Trump. He was, anti-Jesus Christ. I mean, anything that went against his own selfish, personal ways of how he wanted to live as furry. I don't know. So,
yeah, and let me just respond, Ray. First of all, yes, there are lots of people who do what you said. Granted, I'm not one of those, and I have been very careful to make my statements based on the evidence that law enforcement has brought out. That's the first thing. The second thing is, as just a general comment, Clubhouse is not a free speech vehicle. It is a curated space. We have mods and we have stage members. The mods are allowed to curate what people say. So if you're complaining that Ann isn't letting us talk about this free speech, she's fine. No. We are not in a free speech place. It's the same if you go to hear somebody speak give a lecture when you go to class. You can't just call out and start talking about the weather when the professor is talking about calculus. Same deal. Exactly. True. And we got to get And last thing, specifically, Renee, I heard what you said, and what I need to say to you specifically is, I'm rubber, you're glue. Whatever you say bounces off of me and sticks to you. So there, deal with that fighting review.
Alan, the key is here also to make sure is that we're not gonna kill you either over your opinion too. That's the big point. But okay, yeah, we're doing a conversation here, which is I guess a lot of people don't like out there in the real world. But go ahead, Othello, you're on.
So we're talking about Candace Owens. This Candace Owens of today.
What about Adolf Hitler?
Hold on.
Is about Charlie Kirk.
The Candace Owens of today. Well, hold
I
on.
understand that, but I think we're talking about Charlie Kirk.
Hold on. So the Candace Owens. Oh man, I'm still getting spoken over. Yeah, interesting.
It's amazing.
Hey, stop speaking over him. Stop speaking over him.
Show your respect for this black man.
Yeah, Augustus, I see you and your wife have that disease. So, this Candace Owens of today is not the same Candace Owens that came on the scene in 2016. That Candace Owens came like a bat out of hell, in the black community of all these different things. She was also a divesting black women's group that said, okay, we need to marry white men. And black people didn't really gel with her. Fast forward, she starts working with conservative groups like Turning Point USA. She even works with just different conservative groups. Now, people call her an extremist because she left that form of conservatism. What is she focused on now? She's a part of those right-wing groups that want to divest. Hold on. Oh, look at him.
Hey, so not gonna say it again. Do not cut him off.
Oh, what are you gonna do about it? You strong
See, it's
man.
a free speech. I mean, the free speech is being shown on the microcosm and clubhouse, as well as the macrocosm. Where white people don't want
I just want to know
other
why.
people to land their ideas.
No good land already.
So now she's they call her an extremist conservative. Why? Because she wants to divest from Israel. So I think she peeked behind the veil, right? She saw what was really going on, and that's why people are aligning with her, because there are a lot of Americans that want to divest from Israel. Okay, but they're too scared to say it.
That may be true, but Candace Owens.
It's a joke.
In the Republicans,
Kick him out. That's a joke.
The Republicans, especially the MAGA Republicans, have bent the knee to Israel, right? But there are some right wingers and some Republicans that don't want to be complicit in Netanyahu's crimes. So that's why we're jailing with Candace Owens right now.
Where's the crane? Yeah, he's not married to a Jew.
They just lying. They lying in here. We know what's
We're
going
all
on.
human.
I think what's going on is
We know what's going on.
Everybody is out
Candace Owens is married to a man from the old
We
line of
know what's going on.
great white
We
men.
did clearly.
Did you hear what I said about curated spaces, Otello? Please stop your free speech crying just because you get cut off. And I think in conservative rooms have given you a wide latitude to speak. So if you're going to cry, don't cry.
I'm laughing.
I used to go in those rooms.
I bet you did.
When Clubhouse because I was as a white man, they loved me. But I will just say, at the beginning of Clubhouse, black men used to kill black women once every 7 hours in the United States, and now it's once every 5 hours. So black men got really busy with black women, and they're just killing them faster and faster.
Okay, well, let me see those.
So maybe that's a topic for another one.
Yeah.
You know,
Hey, can I put my homework on? I gotta say something.
So Candace Owens is focused on Israel. Everyone's saying Israel.
All right, can nobody hear me, or what's going on around here? But
yeah, sorry.
It's all right, Al. It's all good. Now, are you gonna land, or what's going on here?
Well, I mean, look at it. They trying to dog me.
But Alan does make a good point. I'll tell you this in like other rooms that have the opposite view like this. So, just want to make that a note. But go ahead, get 30 seconds, and then we'll go with that.
Yeah, can I, me, please?
Candace Owens, she peeked beyond the veil. She flew high to the sun, but she didn't scorch herself. Now she's in a great space, right, to lead the American charge to divest from Israel, so that we are not complicit in their crimes anymore, right? And that's towed that line. He had to. Why? Because he was under the Trump, right? And so Trump is sponsored by AIPAC. Trump is in an alignment with Israel. So it was a tug of war for Charlie Kirk's soul to figure out if he was going to be pro-Israel or anti-Israel. And that's where we're here now. That's why we're here.
Appreciate it, Val. Thank you.
And
Thank
thank
you
you
for
for
the Prometheus. Yeah, thank you for the Prometheus.
Well, when you believe in America first, it means
Who's after Doug? Who else wants to go? So we have a queue. Else? All right. Go ahead.
Okay.
I just have a little comment to say. There is somebody, I think his name is Malta. He keeps shirting out slurs.
Fuck him. Anyway.
Okay.
Basically what he was saying is what I want to say, but I mean, I have a little bit more creative way to say it. This is not going to be in standard English like his submission. Candace Owens forgot she was black. When she first came out, she was doing what we call shucking and jiving in front of white folks. And we don't appreciate that as African American people. Her facts was correct. Her analysis and her audience was wrong. And we didn't fuck with it. But she was reminded that she was black when she lost her job at Turning Point USA, because she could talk shit about every group but one, right? And she learned that the hard way. And that's what I mean by being situated. This is going to be in standard English. Being situated in the country, being a part of a faction that's not of privilege. When you realize that, that's when she started to switch her stance and do more stories that was more related to the black community. It's really interesting.
Turning Point. I thought she got fired for mentioned Daryl.
She got fired from Daily Wire, and she got fired because she was already saying things that they didn't like. They
You're
fired her.
right. My bad. I said the wrong.
But she was fired because she was already speaking out against saying things that they didn't like, not the other way around. She didn't start saying things they didn't like after she got fired.
No, I was watching her
That's
every
why
day.
she got fired.
Yeah, I was watching her every day. I remember when she got fired. She started to implicate the Jays. And she spoke about Michael Jackson and how these same people were involved in Michael Jackson's downfall. These same people were involved in Diddy's downfall. These same people were involved in Sexy Red's rising. So she spoke about that.
Charlie Kirk or Slut Rock?
So when it comes down to it, that's why that's where her opinion changed, and that's where black people started to get aligned. Now I'm saying, well,
She's been pretty consistent, so I don't know that.
Michael, can you chill out? Michael,
well, her content changed. But I'm gonna say, where the fuck is he gonna go? Who is going to accept him for who he is and let him do his thing? You know, he did some fucked up shit, but he's still one of us, a part of the community, as you see in the cartoon, and that's why he's displayed like that. Even though he left the black kids in the prison with the booty warrior and freed all the white children, he's still a black man, a part of our community. So that's how I feel about Candace Owens. She is our coon. She's a coon, but she's our coon. So.
Called him and get the nigga Owens, which I think what you're talking about.
All slurs in this call.
She's a coon, but she's our coon. And she's going to
She started going where though way before any of this happened.
Even if she forgot she was black, we remember she was black. And we took satisfaction in them reminding her.
Yeah.
We took satisfaction in them reminding her.
Watch her testimony in front of the Senate or I think it was the Senate she testified in front of. She never forgot she was black, ever. You just decided you liked her now. That's all it was. So don't take credit for her suddenly remembering she was black. And I'll say this. I think when I listen to what she's saying now about Charlie Kirk, I think what it is all black people have just found another person that they can use to justify their hatred of white people. We see it for it is. We're not buying into the bullshit, and we know what you're doing. Thank you very much.
See, I've always liked Candace Owens. I just really appreciate the fact that she was shucking and jiving in front of y'all, but I understand post-traumatic slave syndrome, and a lot of black people have it. And I pray for her. And they reminded her and they helped her.
Yeah, nobody here has
has ever owned slaves, and nobody
I'm talking
else
about
has
being a
ever,
descendant of
has
slaves.
ever picked
That doesn't
cotton.
count. That's not what
My
it is.
great, I'm talking about traumatic slaves that are like after.
Alright, so then if that doesn't
Like
count, the Holocaust doesn't count either.
Like after slavery, a lot of
Because
people are
they've been slapping us on the face with the Holocaust for the last since the 60s. So
DJ,
so like slaves, he doesn't count the Holocaust.
DJ, how about we talk one at a time? How about we talk one at a time? How about we talk one at a time?
First down, DJ, I agree.
Why don't we talk one at a
So
time?
Alan, the Armenian genocide. Alan, y'all be protesting every fucking year over this Armenian genocide. Y'all should stop doing that.
I agree with you.
Stop dressing like my mom. Stop drinking.
Alan, you agree that they should never remember the Armenian
I didn't say they can't remember it. I didn't say they can't remember
It was
it.
never yours to begin with.
DJ, you're gonna find. I didn't say they can't remember it. That's something different. But we won't talk. We don't need to talk about that now. The mods, whom I respect.
Oh yeah, we don't need to talk about that. Yeah.
You want me to?
No.
Remembering it is one thing. Using it as an excuse.
Oh, by the way, and you
Try
didn't
to get money from the government.
I agree with what's his face? Alan. Like I do think that this constant guilting, dude, Americans had nothing to do with it. Why are people moderating from the fucking audience? Shut the fuck up, you faggots.
No need for slurs.
I just think Charlie Clinton.
Bullshit.
Hey! He got what he did.
Let the hate out.
Sean, like, what did he do, Sean, to hurt your feelings?
First off, I think they're hot bite, just let you know. Susanna. He spoke on the woman like he felt if a woman get raped, they should still have to be. And they should not be aborted.
You shouldn't get rid of a life.
He was pro-life, yeah. Because here's the thing, when you're pro-life like that and a woman is raped, there's other ways that they can have the
Yeah, but
baby.
the thing is, he didn't say that, Ty. He didn't. So.
Yes, he fucking did.
He did it. But he did. He took it out of context, is what he did for a point.
Right. He said that I believe from. Okay.
I'll tell you exactly what he said. I know what he said.
Ultrasound. Hold on. There's an ultrasound with a baby that's been from like rape. There's just a married couple ultrasound. Which one is which? You able to tell?
No,
Which one's the
they're all
rape baby? Exactly.
Exactly. That's the point. They shouldn't.
But is the mother gonna love that baby? He said, as a society, we need to stop normalizing death with more death. Why should a baby be punished after a gruesome incident like that? That baby is the light that comes from it, from God.
True. That's
And
true.
if you have faith in God, then you would understand that God gave you that baby for a reason.
Yes.
I only feel like that because of 2054. That's the only thing I feel like.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Yes, you're just mumbling.
Nobody knows about 2054.
No, so I don't even know what the body would say.
Explain it. Since you get
Does any African American people know about 2054?
Why do you like
I don't know.
No, why do you want to kill me?
Why do you have to be racist?
Why do you like to swallow beer?
I need support. I need support.
Okay, that's what he's scrambling. That's
That's why I'm scared because they don't know. I thought they all did. I thought they knew about.
Hey, they'll find out. Let them do it.
Okay,
And by
I think he's trying to say 2025.
No,
by the way, folks,
That's a
20.
Maybe she doesn't know what she's talking about.
by the way, folks,
Let them figure it out.
pregnancies resulting from rape are an extreme small percentage of those pregnancies. And out of those, 50% of the women who get pregnant from rape decide on their own, using their own decision making and their own agency, decide to keep the children. So this whole issue of, abortion
abortion rate, it's extremely an extreme small percentage of all
Well, and I
abortions.
forgot who said it. Someone like didn't like me, but women wouldn't get raped if they kept your ass in the kitchen making sandwiches.
Oh, that's not nice.
Here's the thing: is they claim that they're anti-rape, but then this is when some reports like this to criminals. It's amazing.
Hey, can I ask something real quick? That's not the reason he's deporting American citizens.
No, we're not going to talk about that.
Oh, why not?
Hey,
Because the story is about Charlie Kirk.
Yes.
Hey, to Alan. Hey, to Alan right there. Hey, Alan, I gotta agree with what you said, bro.
About Charlie Kirk, but you just had a.
Will you shut the fuck up, Michael? Somebody else was speaking, bitch.
They were talking
But
about.
I was already talking.
No, we were talking about.
Will you take this faggot to the goo? He interrupts everybody.
No.
A debate that Charlie Kirk had about abortion and his thoughts on it. So that's why we were just talking about that.
Shut up. Hey, get Michael off stage.
And I apologize.
Quick. Hey, to Alan. I got a response what Alan said. What you said, hey, Alan, what you said was very true. It is a very, very small percentage of that. It really is. But the thing about this is that when you if y'all look on the internet and see what they do to these babies when they having to abort them, you'll feel a certain way about that. Conception don't start when the baby's born. It's when it's in the stomach. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
When you get an ultrasound, and we did this in the school, and they had came up and they did an ultrasound of a lady's stomach, and guess what? She was barely what 30 months pregnant. So guess what that ultrasound picked up? A separate heartbeat. So you mean tell me that's not a life? That's a life, and it's murder. I'm sorry, it is murder.
Not that I hear you kill a pregnant woman is double homicide.
Yeah.
I agree with saying that to justify the abortions. I was saying it to point out that people make a big deal about that argument, and in fact, the reality is it's a small percentage of all abortions. I'm not defending abortions at all.
Well, right.
So,
Just because they're asking at straws, they don't for any reason try and justify the reason why they someone admit that they are out slutting around and sleeping with every guy that flirts with them. Instead of burning that, I'm not done. What? And instead of owning that and taking accountability, they have to justify why it's okay to use abortion as a contraceptive. But to my grander point, is there anyone on stage that disagrees with me that all children are a gift from God?
Not every children are a gift from God. It really is.
I love that statement. I'm
trying to explain the culture. Anyone that disagrees with that. Oh, perfect. So the abortion talk is over.
Yeah.
I want to put this out here. There was a dude come up here and said that something about is this talking about black women and this about the abortions. Well, I got sense, bro. Whoever said that since the year 1970, and don't get mad at me, you can do the facts. Since the year 1970, black women have aborted over 1 million babies. It's 19.
Stupid. Any kind of abortion, I don't care what color you are, is wrong. In my opinion, okay?
I agree with you, Andrew. I agree with you.
Percentages on something like that, you're just trying to be divisive and it's not helpful.
Hey, well, I'm black.
I don't care what that means to me.
The only reason I have said this is that when you look at the stats and look at the data on it, you know what I mean? The kids are not ours to begin with in a way they can Lord for one. It's our purpose on this earth to raise children in the best way possible and follow the guidelines that was sought before them and sought before us. We have no right to take these children life like that. That's his right. If he decide to take their children's life, that's his will, not ours. We need to stop trying to play God for one. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, I do.
You know what I'm really upset about is people running all the red lights. You know, when you stop at a red light, you gotta stop.
We're not talking about street laws, buddy. We're talking about
We don't give a shit.
And
How you know those abortions? How you know those abortions is not the will of God?
And which party wants?
Are you saying the law of God is carrying a baby for
Murdering children, that's
we know abortion ain't carrying
No, but you guys are missing the obvious thing. Now, imagine if all of these, how many babies were murdered by, murdered by their mothers or aborted? How many black babies? Over 30 million. Can you imagine this country if it had 30 million more black people in it?
No, I researched the data. Okay, we all know that data and polls can be skewed to display a certain narrative, right?
Yes.
So okay, right. So when people say these things, I'm like, are you suffering from cognitive dissonance? Are you all right? Are we trusting? What reliable data is there? Please enlighten me.
They're healthcare providers. They have to keep track of the number of fucking aborted providers.
Yeah, the same healthcare providers that were saying the amount of COVID deaths and wouldn't say the amount of people that have died.
Well, it's pretty black and white. You either gave someone an abortion or you didn't. It's not guessing the cause of death. It's literally white thing.
That's also true.
The thing is, Josh fell right into the trap. You know how many people in this room want this to fall into a black conversation about black people? Josh,
I'm not a part of that.
He took the bait, and let's get back on course.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I ain't trying to make no black and white.
Don't even go that way. Because we got the pink pill in here. If the pink pill start getting off her agenda, it's gonna be a sad day.
That's what I'm saying.
Which
Hold on. I'm gonna address real quick.
Hold on a second. Which party wants people to keep their babies, and which party wants people to kill more babies?
I would keep them.
That's a demographic. It's not a world. It's a demographic. But you have to look up the data, Ellen. Go look up the data first.
It's a demographic problem, not a moral problem.
Yeah,
which party is having more babies? The party that's telling people that she have choice. The party that's having the least amount of babies is telling people to keep their babies. It's literally clear. It's clear.
Nah, hey, so what Arthur said, I ain't making no black or white, nothing. I'm just saying what that other guy said something about being black people. That's why I brought him that book. So don't throw me in that fire like that. I ain't making no black or white, nothing. I'm just stating things.
Well, you're stating the data that you researched.
But I mean, when you have an abortion, since the baby hasn't been born yet, it hasn't had an opportunity to sin, so wouldn't it go straight to heaven?
See, when you start asking questions like that, that's how you know all that shit is bullshit.
So wait, you're saying that heaven there's a bunch of black babies up there?
No, they're in purgatory.
Okay, they get a bottle of grape and they get mashed chicken wings.
Their chicken wings fried.
Don't ever say that again. Don't say
Black people like their chicken wings fried. I don't know how to say like fried chicken. Let me give y'all a tip. You can bake chicken for 4 hours and it won't.
That's right.
Hey, don't say what I did, Antonio, you done that because you made it that.
I never read the book about Othello.
Yeah, that's terrible. You should have read it in high school.
Yeah, that was my summer project. I didn't do it. So.
But the main thing is, man, it's not right to take a haven't even started to even develop clearly yet. It's not cool. That's the whole point.
And do you guys know that when Charlie's life was taken, this one 3-year-old was sitting right there in front of him. Like, that's what they will remember that.
That's true.
Yeah, so we always bring our kids. Me and my daughter went to a vigil that was for Charlie by my house. And, like, we all bring our kids. And, like, what do you guys got? Do you think that is awful?
I think it's crazy that y'all bring up kids. When it comes down to black radicals, we don't black radicals like I'm just
We're talking about Philly Kirk.
Those spaces are not for children. Like honestly, in my space where I'm at as a black radical, in the protests that I've been to, means that I've done, a lot of times it does get violent, and police show up and they start shooting at people. So I don't. It's crazy that y'all. No, I'm in doubt this. Like I'm saying, like the kind of the radical side of the protest. Like I'm in doubt that sets people off. Y'all are so safe enough to bring all children. Stop doing it.
Why do we always have to center the black experience and mixed race conversation?
Because I'm just giving y'all some game because it's been happening in our spaces. Stop bringing y'all kids. It's dangerous right now. Yeah, it's dangerous. Stop bringing y'all kids. It is dangerous right now. Stop bringing y'all kids. Leave your kids in the safety of the house.
How about this?
It's too
I'm
dangerous.
going to talk about Charlie.
We used to raise our kids. I'm telling you, it's too dangerous.
How about we talk about what the clubhouse is for?
It's about Charlie Clark.
Y'all bring your kids up.
That me and my daughter should stop going to mass.
You can go. Don't bring your kid.
So I shouldn't bring my daughter to mass.
Keep your kid full.
Hey, stop interrupting her, please.
Okay.
Well, she keeps the railing.
Do a vigil where we're praying and worshiping God. So you don't think I should bring my daughter to that? So that would mean that I shouldn't bring my daughter to mass. Got it.
No, don't bring her to anything regarding a political. It's divisive. Not about Jesus. It's about Charlie Kirk is not Jesus. I want y'all to know that.
Matt, Dan, let's bring that around because you know what? We're all being now.
Nobody said that.
Hold on, Alex. Hold on, you guys. Hold on.
The next person that interrupts Matt, you're going
Yeah, I'm holding talking over people. Doug, man, there's a big difference between BLM protests and going to a visual. You do know the difference, right?
I can't tell no more, honestly. I look what the fuck
That's because your vigils always turn into riots.
Look what the fuck just happened.
Well, so that's the main problem.
Please, y'all children y'all already don't have enough. Come on now.
That's what you're saying.
Vigil
That's what
doesn't
you're
mean
saying.
Protect the kids, please.
and we smoke
I want y'all to make this happen 21.
This isn't fair.
I want y'all to make this happen before you tell y'all that it's getting down to all the time.
Okay. So if we break down everything that she had said, she did admit to being a radical progressive, so she's always on the side.
No, black.
So she said that she was progressive,
Black.
radical side of things, and now she's saying y'all shouldn't be bringing your kids. It's dangerous. Well, is there? I mean, why would it be dangerous? Why would it be dangerous? What do you know that I don't?
She's not progressive. I've known Harriet for years. She's not progressive. For fuck's sake.
I know her longer than you. I know what she's doing in this room, but she's doing something different that I wouldn't have followed her if this was what she was about.
Because I know how to have conversations with people that are
Okay, all right, yeah, but you don't know when to stop talking. We need to talk about Charlie Kirk. Let's stop talking. Let's stop playing defense. How about this? Charlie Kirk echoed the sentiments and gave white people, especially, a voice in the country and gave them a voice that they haven't heard in a long time. He spoke about Christian values. He spoke about having conversations with people you don't agree with. He made white people feel good about themselves in a climate where white people, and especially white men, had been demonized in every area of the culture. You can't watch a TV commercial where a straight white man is ridiculed and it's always the mother and the kids who are the smart ones, or a TV show where the straight white man is not the buffoon of the family, is made fun of. goddamn Jews!
Find it any less of what he said or didn't say is because they know he was, and they're happy he was shot, and they are fearful of the fact that, yeah, white people, if they awake the sleeping giant, there's going to be hell to pay. Well, the giant is awake. We're not going to buy all of these bullshit arguments and be scared, because we are now
fucking power.
Sit down and nothing to do with white power.
White
fucking power.
Sit there and power, because you as a black person were oppressed for 400 years. You're not going to get us to give you money because you were oppressed for 400 years. It just ain't gonna work. And I have a question. So let's talk about all the things Charlie Kirk did for white people. Wait, and if you don't like that conversation, you can leave. That's my suggestion.
Everybody's enjoying the conversation.
You made white babies, with his Aryan wife.
Alan, I have a question. I have a question for you. I have one question. I just have one question. You gave yourself away.
Yeah. No, talk about.
Let's have a new voice too. Yeah. Hold on, my phone is gonna do a quick time out. I just needed like a moment of silence.
Yeah, I just want to understand real quick.
Live.
Yeah, I just want to understand it real quick. It was two things.
We'll get you guys back.
Wait, who is that?
I think
It's Joshua.
Joshua, does anything like race related? Can we just not race for days?
It's not what dealing with nothing like that. You know, it was just, I just want to have a discussion with Alan. It was nothing like that. It was just two things I was gonna say, especially about the Black Lives Matter. I don't like the Black Lives Matter. It was fun about two lesbian girls who benefit off the black death. That's all they did.
Oh, you're taking the bait again, Josh. You're taking the bait.
Yeah, I'm gonna go watch the funeral now. It started.
Everybody, who's watching the funeral?
We did an after party.
I had the single mom. Matt, can you go back to single mom so we can have a moment?
Please hold on. Sorry.
I'm gonna pull it up. Hold on.
That's wonderful. Alan, it'd be your own people, Alan. Look how they did.
Alan. So this is what I wanted to ask Alan. So Alan, you said Charlie Kirk gave a platform for white people to do this and do that. You know, you should be a right to give black people reparations for all this. Cool, fine, understand that. You know, that's straight. But you also got to take into consideration that when Chinese people come over to this country, they get something called Chinatown. When Arabs come over to this country, they get every store on the block. You know what I'm saying? So we have
We got Bubba Shrimp. We got Shrimp.
We're going in the streaming mode. You might want to not, like, if you don't want to be part of that, that's fine, you can leave. But we're going to listen to a little bit of it, and then we can have a conversation later. But yeah.
Yes, I agree.
well,
Matt, can you send me a link so that they can watch it too if they want?
Didn't hear you. What's that?
She was just saying that you can go to
It's on YouTube, it's on X, it's all over the internet. It's everywhere.
Okay, I was just repeating what she said.
Is the computer on? Right.
Did you try to reboot?
Stop!
Why would it be like that? Stop it.
Where's that? For streaming.
Come in late now.
Everyone go on mute.
And is it the keynote speakers or no? Or is it just the normal? Like, where are we at?
Yeah, no, so they're walking in right now.
Okay.
That's all of them.
And can you mute your audio though? Because I can't even hear my TV.
I'm streaming.
Yeah, we're all watching it. You're going over everybody's audio.
No, that's why we're doing this room. Matt wanted me to stream it. Thank you.
You can't play the copyrighted music on here, so let's listen to something else.
I have a question.
Do I date black people? Why would you say that?
Okay. Just for a second, I want to ask, on October 7th, was it Palestinians entering their homeland?
October 7th began by secular times, it would be at midnight that October 7th began.
Clearly. I mean, if we're talking about October 7th, we can talk about Jabotinsky and the Zionist movement as well, right? Let's talk about it.
I mean, what does that have to do? What does that have to do with anything?
That's your version of October 7th, too.
No, it has nothing to do with what we're talking about.
You want to eradicate the Palestinians and kick them out of their land? Yeah, that's the same kind of concept.
Irrelevant.
It's not. You're acting like you guys have never thought that about the Palestinians. Shut up.
Never ever. No interest whatsoever.
They start projecting. The problem is right there in your faces. I'm not sure why it's like all the gaslighting. The Palestinian, you kind of try to whitewash it as resistance and, and like the right to return and free Palestine. But we all know the truth. This armed resistance, if you go back in time, I don't know, 30, 40 years, you could walk from any city in Judea and Samaria to Gaza and to Tel Aviv and go to the market and go back and move around, and there was nothing. But, then Intifada 1, checkpoint, Intifada 2, and Hamas vowing to destroy Israel, so blockade. The truth is that the Palestinian movement from the river to the sea is about the eradication of Israel. It's all about freedom of movement. No, there is no freedom of movement for terrorists, and there is no freedom of movement if you want to go and blow up shit. You want to be treated as like human being, like with rights, then act like it.
If you think
generally in your own society, and you need to eradicate this ideology of sacrificing children to martyrdom and from the blood of Palestinians to liberate them. Like, enough. We hear it from the river to the sea. From the river to the sea, Palestine will be Arabic. And we know that Palestine was also Transjordan. It's open a book. The fact is that the Palestinian identity is a political identity, not a national identity. And that is the problem. They are Arabs from all kinds of places.
Yeah, the same with the Jews from all kinds of places. What are you talking about?
The Jews are also an ethnic group like the Arabs, but the Palestinians is a national political ideology. It's not a national identity. It was created to basically move out the Jews because they believe it's Arab land, okay? That the entire land is Arab land. This is what they want to liberate it from. Just the West is like, they kind of package it in like humanitarian values and like human values and freedoms and like freedom of movement. No, there's a checkpoint for a reason, and we don't want to have checkpoints. Unfortunately, they are needed.
and
Don't waste your
necessary.
time with Sam. He's a weak little girl like him. Both
Very
to get
true.
high from dopamine.
Daniel, you had a question.
Real dopes.
I'm not sure if you got the chance to ask.
Yeah, the question was if you believe that on 7th of October those were basically Palestinians like having the right of return and going back to their homeland because it's their land and they just went into their land.
No, I believe that the group of militants that conducted that attack conducted an illegal and an immoral.
No, so let's be honest. It wasn't like the people militant, it was 6,000 people. About 2,000 of them were like Nukhba terrorists. The rest were PIJ and others, but about half of them, 3,000, were what you would call ordinary civilians. That just went into whatever.
I can't be more.
6,000 people. 6,000 people on the tour. My friends taking a cab in a group of guys.
Okay, you seem.
No, I mean, the fact is a matter, okay? Because if you try to minimize what happened and you don't realize it's technology. It's not a mindset of a few people, you know, like a group of people.
Daniel, like, just chill, bro.
From where?
I'm getting so awkward.
People walk where?
Work group.
Nationalities where?
Daniel, like, what is with your, like, do I have the freedom to use a resource?
Okay, I will sing a song to be feel free, okay?
6,000. 6,000 is a group of people. Relax, man.
No, it's not a group of people.
I didn't
No, but it's not. He's trying to point out,
Let's be honest, okay?
People, guys.
6,000 people.
Daniel, why are you so delicate with words today?
Well, because words matter. Because if you try to manipulate and you know I catch you and you know you were talking to Devin before. You know, let's be accurate. You don't want to wait for the truth.
We started doing the same by saying, was it them going back to their homeland, right over return? You tried to manipulate words as well, Daniel. So
no, I did this because the truth is not on your side. All right?
Daniel, you don't. Daniel, you're smarter than this. You don't have to kind of jump on a word and get all wound up.
No, you're the one jumping on the word because that's how you. That's how you.
Everyone, the right.
Listen, right now a group of soldiers is conducting some activity in Gaza. I don't know what you're crying about. It's just a group of soldiers.
It is a group of soldiers, yeah.
Yes, okay. So a group of soldiers is out in Gaza. Okay.
I think that.
And a group of protesters went on the streets and like, no, it's very minimal.
Let me tell you what I think here. What's driving your motivation?
Here we go, another tangent.
I'm telling you, you don't need to analyze. I'm telling you one word. I'm telling you one word.
I would like the freedom to analyze you.
Don't, I'm not interested. I will tell you.
I think that
you're not in a position with it.
analyzing is a form of trolling. I think that
Trolling by analyzing.
Comfortable.
Jesus, sweetie, I don't care for your opinion. I care for truth. I care for truth, okay?
The fact of the matter is, on October 7th, Israel was invaded. And the hostages.
I'm not sure why
how we got invaded.
Can everybody hold on?
You were uncomfortable with the fact that I condemned Hamas. You didn't like that because you wanted to be able to debate a different point that you hope I made. So I just used very innocently, without any malice, the word group. And you just completely ignored the fact that I completely condemned Hamas. I don't know why you just ignored that. The only rational explanation is you wanted to kind of villainize my point.
No, the truth is that you said a group of militants, which is, one, not true. Second, minimizing. I wanted to correct, maybe to educate you. I don't want to say that you did it on purpose. Maybe you just didn't know. And if not for you, for the others that are listening, it wasn't a group of militants. It was 6,000 Gazans that went in
about 2,000 of them were Nukhba terrorists, the other were from other groups like PIJ, but about half of them, 3,000, were unarmed, innocent civilians that just went in and also took hostages and stole and like destroyed shit. So not a group of militants, but a portion of the Gaza population that participated in it, later on cheered on it, and until now are harboring our hostages. Not a group. Also, in the reporting, they don't differentiate between Hamas and not Hamas.
Okay.
Everything is the same.
That's what I'm saying. It's the blind leading the blind. And they wake up to that reality.
But you do know that militant shape is actually correct. If these people actually Googled it, they would come up with Hamas all over fucking. If they actually did a bit of research themselves, they'd actually realize they're wrong.
What are you talking about?
You don't understand why the topic is so sensitive. They literally are a militant group. They was Al Qaeda militant group.
People's lives are at stake, and you're talking about, you don't know why it's so sensitive.
No, I don't know why the use of the word group.
So, but you see, shape, but now Teddy explained exactly why it's needed. Teddy believes that it was actually just a group of militants that went into Israel on 7th of October, as you try to show, but that is not the reality on the ground. Again, it was thousands of people.
Okay, a group
from different militant groups
and
civilians that have been radicalized by an ideology. You remember at the beginning of the war, you guys told us you cannot defeat Hamas. Hamas is an ideology. You cannot defeat an ideology, right? Hamas is an ideology.
A group of radicalized citizens and even ordinary citizens and militants crossed October 7th. I don't understand why the word group has charged you so much.
No, I didn't charge me. I just want to, again, I explained 3 times. I'm not sure if I guess truth is important, facts are important, and nuances are important. People don't know this. They actually say that I'm wrong, you see? So this is why it's important. No, so this is why it's important for people like Teddy and for you.
Shape are both wrong.
Shape, okay, hold on. Shape, do you also believe that it was only Hamas that went into Israel on 7th of October? Because now he's saying so please correct Teddy that I'm correct and he's wrong.
I believe that there were others, such as the groups that you've named, that also crossed the line. That also crossed the border.
They would all be covered within one militant group.
I pointed out one group.
What did you read about
I pointed out one group, and you've correctly added that there were other groups that crossed.
Yes, and then Teddy's arguing. No, but Teddy's arguing with you now that it was just Hamas, the militant group that went in.
No, Teddy's being charitable because he's picking up that this is not really a material thing to say. You've added more.
It's a very important distinction to understand.
Now look up the definition of militant, and then it is whether to use the term Hamas or to use the term Palestinians.
When referring.
Did Hamas invade Israel or did Palestinians invade Israel?
Fire. She dances fire.
Anyone should just go on your Twitter page. You fucking told me. Excuse me? Repeat. What are you saying? Go ahead, continue.
Devin, yeah, I'll explain. He's pointing out your very troubling racist posts around random stuff like
they're not racist.
Black people dancing in Japan seems to bother you. I mean,
quote you from one of your opinions. I don't know why. Let me quote you from one of your posts. You refer to black people as pests.
Yes, I have. Yes, I have. So what?
I didn't really want
You're
to bring
taking
up.
something out of context, you're trying to.
Hold on. A racist says racist things.
What?
I'll repeat it. A racist says racist. The racist opinion
This is par for the course.
You mention the color of someone's skin, and then you say the word pet in the same sentence. You are a fucking racist.
Well, actually,
okay, you're entitled to your opinion.
What puts it up, what really puts it over the top is he then defends it. Like there's a moment where some introspection.
I'm not even defending it. I'm saying the opposite. Do you hear what I'm saying? You're saying I'm racist. I'm saying I'm not racist. I'm not defending. I'm racist. My character. Okay.
Well, I'm not in Japan. I would like to offer that you should probably examine yourself. And ask yourself why you think the world needs to hear about your opinion of black people dancing in Japan. In fact, you know what I would encourage you to do is just smile and say, "Here's a guy having a good time."
Good. Okay, thank you for your advice.
Instead, you choose to highlight them as pests.
And why are you bringing this up?
Well, Teddy brought it up, and I decided to jump on a tangent.
And you're jumping on that tangent. Why?
Your Twitter page,
that's cool. I don't care at all.
Devin, it's kind of like when you walk into our rooms and call everybody anti-Semitic.
And you certainly are anti-Semitic.
We're now calling you a racist because you are a racist.
I don't care. I don't care one way or the other. No, I'm not. But I don't care that you're calling me.
Yeah, I mean, look, we'll let everyone judge for themselves. Yeah, just imagine this, Teddy. Like, humor me this. Of all the things a human being could post.
No, I don't choose one topic.
Devin decides that the planet needs to hear.
Do I choose one topic?
Is a pest.
Do I focus on one topic?
Things you could talk about in the world.
You focus on one topic.
Chooses to use his character.
You are at least in this room.
Teddy, what do you think of that?
Well, never mind what Teddy thinks. You are focused in this room on your anti-Semitic diatribe.
What did I say that was anti-Semitic?
Your entire thing is anti-Jew. You hate Jews. It's very simple.
Refers to the conflict.
Which country is an 80% Jewish state? Only 20% is not Jewish.
Yeah, basically, and the fact that they're essentially just like Arabs living in these areas. It's kind of like culture. The Israelis should not necessarily be separated from that as well. And I think that if they were completely secular, that would basically cancel out the lack of safety that Jews would have around the world. I think that they should be, and I talk to Jews in different parts of the world. I talk to Jews out there.
Which one of those things, Devin?
Who feel very unsafe in these places. They
because it allows us to go and trash people.
Which I know multiple stories of people getting.
No, I'm just pointing out that you're talking over me.
Okay, thank you, Devin. So there's three things that I've done in this room. First of all, condemned Hamas. Okay.
No, you haven't. You You have not condemned Hamas.
Daniel, did I say condemn Hamas earlier? I didn't.
You're talking out of both sides of your mouth.
Quite some time.
You're talking out of both sides of your mouth, shapeshifter.
Well, I am a shapeshifter.
That's your name.
You're just a shifty bastard. It is. Oh, it's the angry Scotsman.
Listen to me. I've heard you in multiple spaces talking about Zios at this point. Don't interrupt me.
The role of interrupting is just to prevent information. It's just the way John Kirk was.
I'm gonna bring it up again, Shifter, when you have some common decency. Talks about Zionists and the Zionists that. People have pointed this out to him before that he's talking about Jews. Most Zionists are Jews. The majority of Zionists in the world are Jews. This guy holds absolute remorse for Jews. Sorry. Yeah, exactly. Thanks. Anyway, listen, I pinned something to the top. This was last night in the Gaza Strip. Hamas executing Palestinians, seemingly for probably stealing food or something. 3 of them were tortured and executed on a street in the Gaza Strip. And I think everybody should have a look at it. This is the brutality of Hamas, and people need to realize who they're dealing with.
Well, they won't even show their faces. Cowards.
I think today is about the Palestinians, you know? I think that's it.
Yeah, Palestinians. That's so funny, man.
Today is about the Palestinians. It's not about Hamas. It's not about the IDF.
Hamas are the Palestinians, you idiot.
Hamas are
What makes today about the
So now the Hamas are not Palestinians. That's interesting.
No, the same way, you know, all America.
The Jews are IDF. All the Jews like the IDF, yeah.
Yeah, the same way the NBA All-Star team are not all Americans. Do you know what I mean? Even though all the NBA's, they're all Americans, but all Americans are not in the NBA All-Star team. Do you know what I mean? So no, they're not all. All the Palestinians are not Hamas. Do you know what I mean? So this day is about.
No, I don't know what you mean. No, Palestinians are Hamas.
Right. So I'll break. I think at the end of the day, the world has recognized Palestine as a state. And this is a momentous day.
Four countries know the world.
Four today.
And what's that going to do for everything?
Well,
Tell me.
one of them was the one that recognized Israel in the first place. So,
how can you recognize a state that has no international borders, that has no primary president, that has no currency? Absolutely, of course it does.
That hasn't confirmed his actual borders.
Oh, really? Is that right? Tell me. So how does that work?
If I can just walk and like until well, like I'm.
So they haven't
You're a fucking clown, man.
I know a lot about borders. What? Tell me where Israel doesn't have borders. Honestly.
Okay, so I just asked ChatGPT because I'm not an intellectual.
Have you ever tried stand-up comedy?
What are you afraid of?
Have you ever tried stand-up comedy?
I'm about to have my first.
Clearly you're good at it.
GPT is only good at sites that it scrapes. It's not a knowledge source.
Can I read it out? At least just what it says. Obviously, we can disagree it off. It's a robot, right? Probably it's not that clever, right? So this is what the robot says, right? I asked the robot, Israel has concrete, solid borders. It says, Israel doesn't have solid, settled borders in the sense of a universally recognized its borders are a patchwork of vast lands, security zones, and disputed territories. So I mean, I don't know.
Kabbalah?
I don't
misunderstand.
know what I mean?
The Kabbalah is not where you have the original.
That's quite interesting. What do you think? What's saying?
Define border or not.
Well, I just asked the robot. I don't know. You know, robots can be wrong, robots can be right. Well, how do we feel about what the robot says? Robot, I don't want to say
Robots just scraping internet websites. So.
I don't know. It's just what the robot says. You know,
Everybody had a goal across the
They say at the end, as a follow, it says, "Do you want me to map out the different scenarios of what Israel's quote air quote final borders could realistically look like?" I don't know what that means. But what we do know is today, Britain, Australia, and Canada recognise, and Scotland, I believe. Shout out Scotland.
Do something independent of the United Kingdom.
I mean, shout out.
Obsessed with the fact that I was born in Scotland. 58 years old and haven't lived in Scotland for probably the last 13, 14 years now. In fact, yeah, so 14 years now. So I'm not Scottish. I don't regard myself as Scottish. Emphases are obsessed with the fact that I'm from Scotland. You seem to think it's like, it bothers me when you say that I'm from Scotland. It doesn't bother me. Absolutely makes no difference to me whatsoever. So, I think suits you. Nothing. But that's besides the point. Your obsession with Israel and the Jews is quite fascinating.
Why is the Jews obsessed with Palestinians?
Remember, okay, the United Kingdom has, yes, that very shameful thing. It's an embarrassment. But remember how the Westminster parliamentary system works. It can be rescinded, Aziz. And I will be contacting my member of parliament and finding out what's the problem. Because that is the most shameful recent events in British history.
Are you going to contact Australia as well?
I'm so ashamed. I'm so ashamed to be British.
I think is it France doing as well? When's France doing?
France holds on Paris. It doesn't matter what France is.
So is it just Britain you're going to contact? Are you happy with Australia doing it, or are you going to contact
Australia doing it, but we don't want that?
If the king says stop it, Canada will stop it, and Australia will stop it.
Welcome to Stay off the Palestinian rallies here in Sydney or anywhere. Sleep on those rallies. John promotes all the time. You don't have anything to do with fucking cow monsters.
I'm not saying that no one has an opportunity. You say what? Sometimes things have a little harder. Sometimes they play. I think it's like you understand that within black leadership, black
on paper, you can't recognize as many countries.
It's moving in the right direction for the Palestinians.
There's no direction. It's like United Nations is a paper party.
On the ground. Doesn't matter. Like
there's 141 countries that sanction on Israel. Nothing's gonna happen.
Okay, hold on. Let me ask you a question. So, you know those men that are identifying as women? Has it changed anything? They're still men, right? Right. So these people that are identifying Palestine as a state, what the fuck is it gonna do?
These are countries, brother. It's a big deal.
So what? What's it gonna do?
It's like when the UN says, like, they say, yeah, you know, we have making proclamation. Nobody cares what they say.
It can't that narrative you guys have when it's like, oh, Palestine state,
If it makes you happy, so be happy. But if it floats your boat, on the ground is you don't have anything.
I mean, listen, we can say what we like. Undeniably, Israel was recognized by Britain, and now Palestine is recognized by Britain.
You know what? Let's recognize the UK as a Palestinian state.
The difference is that Israel was de facto a country, and then when it was recognized
recognized, it became the country. Now, with Palestine, it's a different thing. They basically say we're not a state that has no sovereignty, no borders, no nothing. And they also say only if Hamas will not rule over that country, while Hamas, if you do not voting within the Palestinian in Judea and Samaria and Gaza, get the majority of the votes. So it's a bit kind of like bizarre. Also, the both parties always kind of claim, oh, Britain has no authority to decide who lives on this indigenous land. And now they're like, oh my God, Britain is like, oh, so important that they acknowledge us.
But it's relevant to you, of course, right? Because you.
No, and the fact is, and this is what you need to understand. This is why I kind of did two things. There's de facto, right? And on de facto, it changes absolutely nothing. Even if anything, it kind of makes this thing even further away from reality, because the unilateral recognition, it will not work, okay? And using it as a leverage against Israel just kind of shows that it was never meant to work.
But how can de facto is not a legal process? Like de facto is just by default, right? That doesn't mean. Like,
de facto is what's happening actually in reality.
Oh yeah, but it has no standing in any legal structure. You know what I mean? When Britain recognizes
that was a treaty that was signed.
You know, the entire thing about like
the UN says something, nothing's signed.
Listen. Israel, for example, we have the Golan Heights. We control the full Jerusalem. Now, not all countries recognize that the Golan Heights is ours. Not all countries recognize that Jerusalem is ours. Okay, for them, the Yura, meaning the legal status of Jerusalem, is that it's illegal or illegal, whatever they say. But the fact we named the Aziz city, you know, they can call it, but in reality, on the ground here, it will not change anything. This is what I'm trying to.
Reality, if not, like, I mean, you know, I could be sitting swinging on my chair thinking I'm the president of the United States. If the world doesn't think I am, then I'm definitely not the president of the United States.
No, it doesn't matter. No.
It's kind of how things work.
No. Let's say you have, let me give you, if you have like a $1 billion in your bank account, but the world does not believe that you have, it doesn't matter. You still have $1 billion in your bank account. Got it? Because that is you technically you do. That is the reality.
Basically, what's going to happen is Israel is
Danny.
able to defend the country.
Hi, Danny.
It doesn't matter what Hamas says.
Did you bring home your new boyfriend to your husband?
They can make whatever
Did you
claim
bring
they
home
want.
your new boyfriend to your child?
It doesn't matter.
How's it going there in the home? Are you bringing peace? Or are you bringing chaos and wasting all your time on Clown House? You could be so much better than this, Danny. You're so much smarter than this. You could do so much more with your time.
Yeah, but you're so wrong.
Now they have every right to attack Israel. So that's the thing. Even the Muslim countries around them, now they have every right to attack Israel. They can't see the terrorists anymore because they're recognized, right?
It's a sovereign state. It's a sovereign state.
Yeah, it's a sovereign state, so you have no say. They're not terrorists.
Yeah, you have to respect their
By that logic, Afghanistan will also sovereign state at the moment. Sovereignty doesn't mean anything. If somebody want to do, they will do.
So what you're saying is, even if it's bad,
you have to be strong to protect yourself.
So you don't mind being the bad.
Yeah, where was the UN when there was Russia and the US attacking Afghanistan back in the day? Where's the UN back?
Aziz, I'm not Muslim, I'm not Jew, but I'm going to ask you some simple questions. When Muslims say that, you know, this place belongs to us, so it's coming from your, you know, understanding that we were here before. By that logic, Jews predate you, you know?
My thing is not like who was here first, right? Because there were people here before the Jews, right? Abraham came from Babylon. I don't care about that shit. What I think is, if you have a house somewhere, just don't kick me out, because that's terrible. If you kick me out, let me back. If you don't let me back...
No, that's not how things work. That's not how things work.
Well, if it doesn't work like that...
Well, throughout history...
I don't want to...
What did the Romans do? What did the Ottomans do? What did the British do? The French?
Yeah, they colonized the world.
So Pakistan actually created because by kicking out
that's terrible, right?
Okay, so by your logic, then we should give back every single house that's ever taken from every single place for every single person. You know how stupid that's?
Talk about civilizations. I don't care about that shit. Post 1948, the country sat together.
Okay, well, you don't care about them. What about the people that were kicked out before 1948?
Right.
What about a lot of people in the U.S., the Native Americans?
Or after it's moved to my father's church.
No, but this is so.
No, so those people don't matter. But what you're talking about matters, right?
No, I'm asking you what you implied. Should we give?
No, I'm using your logic. You said the people that were kicked out should go back in. So that means the U.S. should come out, and the Native Americans can own this land. Correct?
Due to the fact that Israel,
you made up an arbitrary year. You said anything after 1948 counts. Everything before 1948 doesn't count. So that means every single person that had land taken away from them, therefore, to give it back.
Well, it's not arbitrary, David. The country sat around.
Okay, but you're making that arbitrary.
There was World War II, and after that they sat around and faced each other as diplomats and looked at each other in the eyes and said, okay,
why are we even, guys, hold on. Why are we even talking about before, about 80 years ago, 100 years ago, 1,000 years ago? No, hold on, and I have the mic. So why are we talking about October 7th, and how could anybody normal in the world even feel sorry for the Palestinians? How could they? It's because they only hate Israel. How could anybody with a heart feel sorry for any Palestinian? Shut the fuck up. After what happened, after watching these videos, after watching the brutality, the little 5-year-old, that his whole family got murdered.
The tyrant dies and Israel is over.
All of the
martyr dies.
elders, the kids were taunting and laughing at him. How could anybody feel sorry for the brutality and the horrific acts? And then
We are Charlie Kirk live stream and is live streaming with that.
Charlie was not silenced. His movement is only beginning. The voices of millions globally have been awakened, furthering his cause in missions far beyond anyone's comprehension. We won't cower in fear. We will never surrender. We are resolved to live free from lies and seek out what is true. We will respectfully, boldly challenge what is accepted by culture in order to seek out what is true and acceptable to God Almighty alone. To everyone here today, live free. True freedom is not found in doing whatever we want, but pursuing Christ in doing what is right. In Charlie's words, get married. Have more children than you can afford. Build a legacy. Pass down your values. Pursue the eternal. Seek true joy. Charlie led by example. It's not only seen in the incredible wife, Erica Kirk, his 2 beautiful children, the legacy he built, his values, his love of God, and true joy he found in his Savior, Jesus Christ, but in countless people, especially young people like the
Danny is a young Jewish woman with some marital problems at home. You got no peace in the home because you're not bringing wisdom into the home. You're bringing mind virus into the home, and your husband's bringing mind virus into the home. Pick up the Tanya, read the Tanya, 60-second clips, reading it on Clubhouse, and you'll eliminate the brain rot inside of you. And you'll have more peace in your home. And you'll bring intelligence back into your home. And you'll bring beauty back into your home. El Normo, welcome to the room. My El Normo can bring good advice about peace in the home. He's been through divorce. He knows.
Oh my goodness.
El Normo's a good man for advice. You may think he's not good at giving advice, but El Normo, you've got great wisdom.
I would rather do that. I don't have to be married, right? Because I'm not.
Listen, whatever your situation is, it really doesn't matter. You need to bring books back into your life, Danny, and all your situational problems will resolve, because a lot of it is psychological. So a book is a great way to unravel, the situation you're in.
Everything is psychology.
Yeah, and Tanya deals with
I
with
was trying
emotions.
to hypnosis, and I couldn't think of it, and it drove me crazy.
Listen, when I say hypnosis, what I'm really saying is education, because
You say
education is
communication
hypnosis.
is hypnosis. Did I remember? Is that the quote? What's the quote?
Okay, Danny, welcome to what I call book club. I'm not just going to tell you or give you advice. I'm going to show you. All right, anybody else in the room want to come up on stage and say anything? Okay, going back to our regularly scheduled programming.
So anyways, we work 24/7. He would tell every supporter of ours, between me and him, we were a team that was never off the clock. Full coverage. I would usually stay until 2 or 3 in the morning, working on the next big Turning Point USA project, and text Charlie reports of what our team that day had accomplished. It was like this every day. Work, report, and wait to see my text messages to Charlie flip from delivered to read as soon as he woke up on the East Coast, so he could be firing away feedback, thoughts, and a flurry of brilliant Charlie Kirk ideas as soon as he opened his eyes. I'm not kidding you, this was every single day. And all it takes is 2 dudes to dream up big stuff and talk each other into really insane ideas, which Charlie and I did often to one another. We would go back and forth with those ideas, perfecting them, turning into bigger, more insane.
Or with hang on, Aziz. Calmly, don't get all freaked out. I can see how frightened you are, because you get faster and faster when you talk. You stop catching your breath. Your breath gets shallow. I can hear it. So statement number 1, I know sometimes the facts are hard to hear. I don't blame you. I say, well, I'm in England. We don't agree. Calmly, Aziz. Don't freak out, man. This is just talk. Don't lose your shit. So you're going to have to change your underwear. I said Hamas is sacrificing their children, didn't I? Did you say that? I said Hamas is sacrificing their children, and that we're going to stop them. Did you hear that part? Or did you miss it? So, wait. Did you hear that part, Aziz? Aziz, calmly. Don't freak out like a little... No, I have a question. Did you hear me say, hang on, Aziz? Don't get all like... You sound terrified. You're all quivery now. You're all quivery, and it's a little bit embarrassing as a man to see another man peeing in his old life he hasn't changed in a week. So I said Hamas is sacrificing their children. Now, where's the evidence of that? Well, the woman that you just mentioned, a little girl. Hang on, Aziz, hang on. You're interrupting a lot. I guess because this stuff is hard to hear. I don't blame you. It's hard to hear. But if they weren't sacrificing their children, how to take shelter in a tunnel? Because she's a civilian non-combatant. But how did she get killed? Hamas hid behind her, didn't they, Aziz? So who's responsible for sacrificing their children? That would be Hamas, wouldn't it be, Aziz? Right? 500 kilometers of tunnels? And no children. Is that not outrageous? So let's compare and contrast. In Israel, Arab, Israeli, Jew, Baha'i, Yazidi, Samaritan, Druze, everybody is allowed into the safe rooms. In Gaza, nobody is allowed into the safe rooms. How do you explain that, Aziz? Put your answer in the chat. Go ahead. So he just lived. He framed the truth. We're not Australia to recognize it.
They did? On 21st September?
They did, and Canada.
What is this now? What are you saying now about Australia and Canada?
They recognize Palestine as a state, but I also know a kid. I also know a kid. 100%. I know a kid in my daughter's school that she considers herself a cat, and the school recognizes her one. But we all know she's not a fucking cat.
Yeah.
And I also know men that identify as women, but we know that they're not. They're still men, so they can identify and be recognized as such. But as long they never are. That doesn't make it true.
Underground is not going to count. It's not going to count.
Believe in angels. A lot of people believe in angels and ghosts, and that's fine.
It is.
But that doesn't make angels and ghosts real. Where is this Palestine? Who's the president? Gail doesn't know. St. Elmo doesn't
No,
know.
I'm actually saying it doesn't actually count. Whatever you just recognize, it doesn't count on ground.
Second, man. Hang on. It doesn't matter if they don't have a government?
What is it was before in 1948. It didn't exist in any map for the last 2,000 years.
That's not true. I'm not talking about that. Now, wait. It was always there. I'm not talking about maps. Hang on, Gail. Hang on, see. Not talking about maps. Not talking about 1948. In 1948, right around the same time, actually late 19th century, Greece was created. It was a reconstitution of ancient Greece. Right around that time, Ireland was created. It didn't exist before. Pakistan was created in 1947. It didn't exist before. Germany was divided in two in 1945. That hadn't been done before. Hawaii became a part of the United States. That hadn't been true before. Alaska became part of the United States. Alaskans are Americans now. That didn't exist before. The fact that things change is not a contradiction of reality. It's an affirmation of reality. What did you want to say, St. Elmo?
Bangladesh also got created.
St. Elmo, your name is not St. Elmo.
Bangladesh also got created. It never existed. Yeah.
Say that again?
Bangladesh also got created. You know,
I can't hear that word.
Hey, Mom.
You look so cute doing your little jaggedy jig. I could eat you up.
Oh, wow. I'm a buttercup.
Samantha sent it to me and I can't stop playing it. You also look so fit and you look so happy doing your little jig.
That's not me. That's AI software. I'm not actually dancing.
No way.
Yeah, that's a computer that.
Get out.
Yeah, that's why I sent it.
That looked like your body.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. You upload it.
You serious?
Yeah, I'm not making this up. You upload a picture and it'll create a video for you.
I just made a big bucket of chicken soup. Wish you were here.
Get all that
I felt
bone
like
marrow.
chicken soup. Flawless in the air. There was a chicken that said, how much would you like to pay for it? So I said, it's $10. I'll pay $6. He says, you got it.
Deal.
I like that.
Deals. Deals and deals.
I have noticed that they're not like sticking stickers on stuff saying special or something like that. They're not notifying people that stuff is dated. They want you to walk out with it. So you got to be careful that way. So I went to this great big dance. Albuquerque had an outdoor international music festival last night, and this one woman who was from Brazil, she wanted to wind up the crowd, and she said that every 23 minutes in Brazil, a Brazilian gets killed. She says she's got a pending visa a year so far. She wants to get into the U.S. I'm like, I don't want you here. Check you out. She was a lesbian. She admits to being a lesbian. But what a forceful bitch.
Well, she was a musician?
She seemed dangerous to me.
She was a musician?
Yeah, good one too.
Uh,
Very good. Good singer. She was the only, there was only 3 players. One was a white drummer, so he probably came from Albuquerque and, rounded out her little trio. But she's the only one that got people up dancing. The other band didn't sing. They just played these really cool electric, it was like a great big bowl with strings. Something I'd never seen before. Anyway, it was nice. My neighbor and I went together. He's the same age as I am. One month younger. And real fit guy. Hey, that body on your AI had you looking real fit.
Mom, it's a video, okay? But I gotta get to work and get to the gym. So what else is important that you want to talk about?
Just wanted to also remind you and extend, if you still wanted to come just for a couple of days, Farron's coming now for 2 days. Maybe you want to come.
Well, I would just put that as a tentative
I got a ticket
no.
for you.
Oh, I know. I'm just telling you that as of now, it's a tentative no. I just can't logistically do it, so I would have to mark me down as a no on that RSVP note. I apologize.
Okay.
But I will say that for Thanksgiving or Christmas, that would probably be when I'd be able to fly down there.
That would probably just be you and I then, because Sam, I know, is having her mother-in-law and her husband and the kids are going to the Ellensburg. What the hell was that? Going to the Ellensburg house. So you would just be here with me, which would be fine. You might not want to do that, but I'd be happy to have you here.
Yeah, that's probably when I'd be able to do it.
That's the worst time in the world to travel, Dan.
Well, I don't know. Christmas and Thanksgiving in Albuquerque is pretty nice. I'd be happy to get out of Chicago.
Well, that's true. I never forgot that stinking trip we went to San Diego and couldn't get back, or I couldn't get back for 2 days.
Mm-hmm.
That was frightening.
Yeah, traveling can cause increased stress levels. Big
What do
time.
you think of Trump putting that $100,000 entry fee for foreign countries coming over here to work?
Yeah,
You
good.
like it?
Yeah, good. Tax them because these corporations are getting away with tax evasion.
Right. I love that. That was a good one. And today's a big memorial. You might find it on Live Now. Trump attended Arizona Memorial for Charlie Kirk.
Mm-hmm.
That guy was a real inspiration to the young people to motivate their thinking one way or the other. He gave them platform information to study their own opinions. And that was very valuable to have a person willing to do that to help our college students out. I feel very bad about that. How do you feel?
Yeah, he was murdered by a deranged, brain rotted out young person who, I think it's directly because of cell phones and all these platforms that can brainwash you. You know, I thank God that I grew up basically. I remember when I got my first text message, and it was just this, you know, you had to push the button 3 times to get to the letter. So think about how communication life, you know, it can be delivered to you in the palm of your hand through your cell phone. There's no other way to get the virus. It's a mind virus.
Researching the darkest caverns they can go.
Yeah, people.
That's radicalizing a lot of these kids. The parents started them out with cell phones. Look at the age range who were committing all this deliberate issues. Steering the U.S. out. As a matter of fact, those people are no longer contributors to our society. Now we get to pay to have them rot in jail. I'm not sure. Maybe more states will start putting the death penalty together.
Well, they really need to start regulating Kid who shot Charlie Kirk was radicalized on an app called Discord.
Saw that.
Yeah, also Telegram. So there's just a lot of extremist groups on those apps on the left and the right. And it can polarize somebody and make them extremely fearful and extremely angry and radicalize somebody to commit murder. You know, look what happened to Charlie Kirk. So.
Yeah. Did you see that his weapon was an antique?
Yeah.
I wonder where he got his hands on that.
It was his grandfather's.
Probably know.
It was his grandfather's.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, he kept writing in text messages to his gay lover boy. Back a kid, you know? And, but he knew he was screwed because, you know, he lost the gun. So his dad and his grandfather would have known it was him.
Well, what did he want to?
Couldn't recover it. And so his, you know, alibi would have been blown.
Oh.
He tried to carry it.
Why couldn't he recover it? He told his boyfriend where it was.
Well, you'll have to read the letter. I don't really want to discuss it with you right now. By chance we get on the ballot in March.
How many do you need?
700.
Oh, you're there.
Yep, we're there.
Can't hurt to get a few extra, huh?
Yeah, if I could get another 700, that is probably what it would take to effectively for September, October. So I need to review that calendar and drive up there. I'm probably going to rent a car because the last time I drove my car on the highway, it was rattling really badly. So, plus my battery died the other day at Superdog, and this car is nothing but a 24-year-old deteriorating problem. So I don't feel comfortable driving there in it and getting back safely. So I'm going to
maybe just...
I told the guy, he's like, your tires probably aren't secure enough, you know, so I need to bring it back in. But for me, I just want to do like a 24-hour trip. So I can rent a car for 2 days, get a hotel room or an Airbnb, and myself, I can get 160.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll let you concentrate. Just thought you were really cute in that little campaign.
That's
video.
the point.
Cute.
That's the point, to be funny, to be cute, to be nice, to be kind, you know, but to use technology for communication, because people's attention spans are 3 seconds. That's it. That's all you get. It's 3 seconds with somebody. After that,
to show off your efforts, and you were rewarded from all your work out, and you had a happiness in your face, and your little kind of like toe dance, you were a little bit light on your feet, so you must have been somewhat on your toes.
You know, it's a video that I didn't actually do that, right? You know, I've already told you, it's a picture. You upload a picture, and then it creates a video. So that's not me dancing. That is an AI video. Watch it again closely, and you'll say, you know what? That is obviously not him. That is a video creation done by a computer at Google.
Well, don't change your happiness on your... I even like the background. Did you create the background at least?
It's a little bit like my background, but I can send you the picture that I used to create that video.
I like what I saw.
How did you get it?
Cell phone number? No, don't do it to the cell phone because the little postage stamp size screen can barely see anything in it.
Oh, I understand.
Is that what you mean?
No, I was saying how did.
Her cell phone.
No, so what?
She's not leaving today. She leaves tomorrow.
Okay, cool.
And she's driving with this male that Farron probably hired to drive with her to Nevada.
I mean, you kind of
And
make.
she'll drive him.
You think he hired somebody to drive with her?
My guess is who would do that without getting paid? I believe he's a fishing guide. Because she's never drove that thing. And Farron wants to make sure she gets a few miles under her belt and feels comfy.
Oh, I see.
That's my guess.
Got it.
I think it was a generous idea of him.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's so crazy
Then
to have
he's
such a
probably
big.
flying them home on his dime too.
Oh, wow.
I know.
All right. Well, be kind and be loving, and kindness and loving will be returned to you when you meet them.
I do feel that way. I feel very always ready to assist and with kindness in the heart.
Well, do you remember what happened at your house in Grand Junction when Samantha was crying and screaming, and you two got in a physical fight, and she stormed off and left your house?
Oh no, that wasn't true. That was Shlomo. After that, because of how he treated me, Sam and I did not have a fight.
No, you
It
two.
was all Shlomo's rage.
No, she got up in your face crying and screaming, and I think you may even have put your hand on her throat, but she left.
No.
Well, what I'm saying is, I don't look at Samantha as just Samantha anymore. She's transmutated into a different creature known as Samarin, which is a combination of Samantha and Farron. Her new name is Samarin. So just remember, you are no longer just dealing with your daughter. You're dealing with a new creature, a combined two people in one known as Samarin. So just remember that you're no longer just addressing your daughter. You're addressing a double identity known as Samarin. That's the way I look at people when they get married. You have to treat them differently.
You're right. We had a conversation. I think he was avoiding me at all costs by continually keeping himself occupied and away from Samantha's and my visit. So I never even talked to him. Well, one thing he did say is that I did a very good job raising Samantha. And I said, well, it's your job now. Please don't mess it up.
Yeah, well, I mean.
You kids are doing pretty good, I gotta say.
Well, I'm just.
Era that I had you.
What I'm trying to tell you is, this is a big thing for Samantha. So if you have to humble yourself and eat a little dirt, and zip your mouth, and just be a pleasant person, and just be a hostess. Like, there's no need to try to crack an egg or even have a conversation. This isn't like saying is, why create drama when there's no need to have drama? If somebody else is going to create drama and you're going to pick up that mind virus, that's a you problem. You have to basically, I'm just saying, I'm sure things will go well, but I'm just saying, based off of my observations, there does seem to be intense, and you can talk too much, and you can scream too much.
Ask her about that Shlomo thing. Of that incident. Well, it's not just that incident. It was because of his control, manipulation. I'm thankful she got away from that guy.
Yeah.
So is she.
It all works itself out. I never even wanted to have an opinion, because you just observe and you wait and see, and you observe and you wait and see, and then people's attitude and their character and their communication always outs somebody. It's always
Right.
what they say and how they say it, which either makes it or breaks it.
Agreed. That's very good. What do you call it? Theory or philosophy?
Yeah, it's people's words matter. How they say it, when they say it, what they're saying. I mean, he was nothing but disrespectful and obnoxious every time I ever observed him around you. He was never polite or courteous or, overly thankful or just pleasant. He was.
Wait a minute, here's a better one. Everybody was seated to start passing the dishes around, and I was finally through with bringing it all into the dining table. Remember we sat on a picnic table?
Mm-hmm.
Just as I threw my leg over that picnic bench and I had lowered myself, he says, could I get him a cup of tea? And I said, sure, you can get yourself a cup of tea. I was not getting up for that motherfucker. I gave him that nice coach house, brand new carpet on the floor. His dogs ate the rolls. Remember the rolls? I think Linda had put the rolls in that mud room. Remember when you came in, you'd have to go pass through that mud room before you came in the kitchen?
Yeah.
Linda put the rolls out there, and his dogs were out there, and they ate the crown off of every single roll. Yeah, it's pretty funny.
That was a tight little garage. I couldn't believe how incredibly condensed it was going up and down that little spiral staircase.
What part is she talking about?
In his backyard, where him and
Oh,
Samantha
God,
lived.
yeah. That was frightening, wasn't it?
It was wild. It was, it felt very California, I guess, but it was so tight. It was unbelievable.
Yeah, he had to go straight up because you didn't have enough footage on the floor to put an angled staircase up. Maybe you know what he should have done? Built on the outside, sort of like a little cabinet, and put the staircase on the outside. And then you'd come back into the inside once you were at the top.
God, he had that storage container in the backyard, and he was paying.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
He was paying monthly for that fucking piece of metal in the backyard. I was like, why the hell would you pay for this shit monthly? Are you, some people are really, they love their tools. I don't know.
Because he got it in there. It was going to be risky getting it back out.
Yeah.
Remember how tight that alley turn was?
Yeah.
And it's possible he was holding out until they would sell it to him. Because it was ideal to keep it.
Yeah, 100%.
He could have used it as a garage, too. He could have taken the doors off on the inside of the yard and closed them at the back side of the yard, put a roll-down door on that. Would have made a nice little, no, it wasn't little, was it? It was big.
Well, anyways, enough about the past. Anything else you want to talk about that's important?
No, just pretend you're throwing your arms around me and let me melt inside your chest.
My little buttercup.
Thank you.
All right.
My big buttercup.
Okay, thanks, man. Love you. Have a great Saturday, or what is it? Sunday or Saturday now?
Sunday.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, gotta go to UPS and send the box back.
Okay. Have a good afternoon. I'll talk to you soon.
Bye, Johnny.
Okay, bye.
Love you.
Love you too. Bye.
Bye.
My little buttercup. Oh, little buttercup. Oh, little buttercup. Hello, hello. Hello, hello. Shavua Tov.
I know you recorded my room right now.
but you need to please delete it because my friend by accident said some personal info about me, and it could be a big problem for me.
Well, I'm not actually recording the audio of the room. I'm just recording the video of the room, so you don't have to worry about it.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye.
No problem. Okay.
Like Somalis, would like to have a room open for him. That'd be great because I'm gonna be.
Yeah, AK, you wired up. What's up?
Yeah, I just want to. I have ADHD, so I just like being able to speak.
You just like being able to speak?
Yeah, exactly.
What do you want to speak about?
Nothing yet. I'm just waiting for some.
Gail, you coming up? I don't want to be yelling, man. Honestly, come up with some talk. Because I was in a room with you the other night, and we actually talked normal, so I don't know why we do that in this space. Research feelings, so please. How's everybody's day going so far?
As we think about the loss of our friend and partner, Charlie Kirk. But did you hear a political figure last week say that Charlie Kirk was ignorant because he didn't have a college degree? I've seen him run circles around people with college degrees. You know, I wonder if that political figure realizes that most of learning in life comes outside the classroom. And I am delighted to see the young people of our land merging with the older people like me and moving in the same direction and understanding that our nation was founded upon the kind of principles that allowed us to rise from nothing. Stop stressing about your roof for good. Beliefs, including our Judeo-Christian beliefs, that our...
No, but what was her point to Charlie?
The fact that she didn't want to have an abortion, even though her father was the father, was that she didn't want to have an abortion because she felt life was more important, regardless of how it happened, because it was from a grace of God.
Right, yeah, Charlie makes that point frequently when people try to debate him on the point of abortion, as they say, well, you're not even against abortion in the case of rape or incest, which, you know, the vast majority of Americans are for the option of abortion for those reasons, but, you know, that's his point. Okay, but I'm not making that point. I'm just saying, okay, are you not listening to what I'm saying? I'm not making that argument. I'm just saying that was something that Charlie would be frequently criticized for because he has a position that abortion is wrong in all cases except where maybe there's a carve out for the life of the mother being imminently in danger, but he says that issue even is overblown incredibly, and a lot of times when doctors will do an abortion saying the life of the mother is in danger, he's saying that's not actually the case. There are provisions they could take too. So anyway, so he's extreme in the pro-life position as far as, you know, aligned with the vast majority of Americans, but so she was there to validate his perspective, I imagine.
Dude, I heard the chick that Planned Parenthood died.
So, can I ask a question? What exactly is Ben Carson's role as far as the Trump administration today?
I don't think anything. He was in the last Trump administration.
He's enacting a very impactful message, but at the same time, it's like he just sounds very mechanical, very robotic. I mean, I don't know about anybody else, but
You don't sound like a faggot like you.
That Ben Carson did not become president.
Well, he's not a wonderful speaker, but the term brain surgeon is literally synonymous with genius. It's literally used in English to compare married to a genius. And among brain surgeons, he is regarded as perhaps the greatest brain surgeon. In other words, the greatest genius of this genius profession of all.
I thought he became a great director of HUD, like Housing Unit Development. I thought he was great with that job.
Yeah, that's an administrative position, but how many brain surgeons do you know? I don't know any.
And the Neo.
I would tell you, that guy, I met him when I was 17 years old. Inspired me so much to go to fucking college and not to be out here in the streets when I met him.
This guy
Inspired
comes
me
from the
to go
projects.
to that field.
He comes from the projects.
Yeah, I mean, this dude, he was cool as shit when over to Baltimore.
That's a kid, but hit him in the belt buckle when he was in 6th grade.
My friend profiled him like 20 years ago for ABC networks and something called Hopkins 24/7 before he was ever political. And he pioneered a surgery which a little kid had brain cancer, and he cut the kid's brain in half because he
hemispherical dissection.
John, can you let Noah finish?
So, I know he's participated. At that age, brain development was so unformed in this kid that the remaining hemisphere compensated for the whole thing.
Well, as long as you leave like the reptile brain, like the pons, the brain magnum where the spinal cord comes up in, and then like you still leave like the integumentary system with like the thalamus, the hypothalamus, and like the pituitary gland, so you're still able to have normal function. The brain will compensate. I agree.
Serendipity, check your Telegram, please.
Okay. Anna Polina Luna.
To God, and closest to God, and religion, and Christianity, and love of God and family, and all of those very simple, traditional, eternal human values. If not the best, believe it or not, I said Ben Carson is an embodiment of the truth that medicine, knowledge, science is not antagonist to God, to a belief in God, to godliness, to Christianity, to the eternal values that we get from religion. Because he's both godly and a medical surgical genius.
Yeah, but he's not a good public speaker. I'm sorry.
I guess not. Okay, well,
He's not. I mean, that's my personal opinion. You know, when you look at the likes of, Barack Obama, or you look at the likes of, Donald Trump, it's kind of one of those things where there's a certain execution of speech that makes the sentiments resolute and, succinct. I just don't think that Ben Carson has that type of execution. That's just my personal opinion.
No, I mean, without a doubt. I mean, if anyone remembers the debates during the 2016 election cycle, there was one of the Republican debates where he just froze in the camera like a deer in the headlights, and Trump sort of like patted him on the back like, "Here, right, buddy," or something like that. It was very awkward, but
but that was the problem that led to like I mentioned Democrats is not sir, and Biden was the incumbent.
Okay, all right, I'm gonna move you. No, you can stay. I'm just gonna move you to the audience for a minute. But I never understood why Ben Carson, being the brain surgeon, was then made the director of housing and urban development. Did he? I remember like thinking that was odd at the time.
I understand that as well. Like, I would have thought that his more appropriate role would have been health secretary.
Yeah, I mean, did he have any experience in housing and urban development, or?
I mean, in my personal opinion, I don't think that he did. I mean, anybody would arguably question the fact that maybe perhaps that was a DEI appointment, to be able to mitigate and control, minority usage of government-led programs. I mean, I'm just being very honest. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I remember having that thought at the time. It was like, did he just put this brain surgeon in housing and urban development because he's black for the optics? Was what I thought.
Well, and then there's also, the whole background. You know what I mean? As far as, perhaps he had a certain experience, in that realm, for which that his expertise in the proper execution and meticulous analysis of certain constructs could have rendered his more social experience and personal experience very valuable to that field. But looking at it from a political optical perspective, I feel like, he definitely probably would have been very well qualified based on, accolades and academics, to ascend into a position of the healthcare secretary. I mean, that in my personal opinion would have been like Trump first term wish list. Especially during the pandemic. Especially during the pandemic.
I don't know, man. Carson was raised in the projects of Detroit. I don't see anybody about it that can understand that.
That's why I offered up that explanation as an alternative, right? Because again, maybe perhaps through his experience and also his attention to detail, numbers, analytics, and I couldn't agree with you more.
Is this Pacific on stage now? What is this?
It's Jet Pacific.
Yeah.
Okay, since the stage is quiet, who asked the question about what impact Charlie Kirk had on us individually? That was Sid. Alright.
Well, I think a lot of people are kind of watching the commentary.
How did he impact you, Serendipity?
My daughter has a condition. She's a female, and she comes by her bleeding heart, honestly, from her mama. And, try as I might, that little bleeding heart of hers, was definitely tending to sway her to a lot of social justice or perceived injustices. And she stumbled across Charlie Kirk. And that changed her perspective on everything. So that's how Charlie Kirk impacted me personally the most.
Was there one issue or perspective that he had that was an aha moment for him?
It was all of them, because she is very much also a critical thinker. Like, she loves to debate with her brothers and take on different positions.